Creator Almighty back in the building. What's good? I hope y'all had a good week, you know what I mean? Tonight we got the homie Jise One, Creative Juices Music, you know what I mean? True legend. Shout out to the Snow Goons, my brothers, my family, you know what I mean? Got me with the fly ass gear. Check out the shirt, you know what I mean? Shit's fly. Go cop that shit at the store, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the sponsors, you know what I mean? Snow Goons, Creative Juices Music, of course, Elite Sound International, London LeBlanc Mac, usual suspects. It's gonna be a dope show, man. Just make sure y'all tune in. Yo, peace.
Yo, what up?
What's good? What's good?
What's good, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. It's a pleasure to get to chop it up with you, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Happy Friday.
Yeah, word. I was just saying that before you hopped in, man. I wish everybody a good week, good weekend, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It's cold out there, yo.
Yo, you ain't lying.
Yeah, mad icy.
Yeah, I work in it, so I already know, yo. It's it's a dangerous game we playing for this money.
Yeah. I'm feeling the hat, yo.
Yeah, yo. My brother Snow Goons just laced me with this. I was like, yo, it's a blessing.
Nah, that's
Most
dope,
definitely.
dope. Pick up the snow goons, man.
Y'all gotta hit up ID, man. I gotta get some gear from y'all joint too, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
Oh,
pushing crazy shit.
yeah. Yeah, ID got mad stuff too, man.
Yeah, he does,
Yeah,
man. He does. It's a good
he
brother
got a
right
lot.
there, man.
Yeah. That's my ace right there, man. I love ID, man.
Word.
ID and
Nah,
Alu, those are my boys.
yo, yeah, man. Y'all got a tight unit, man, over there. Like, I see how y'all be moving and whatnot. I always paid nothing but homage to y'all, man. It's a
Ah,
hard
man, that,
game.
yeah. I mean, honestly, ID, man. It's rare on me to do with so much drive, man. That dude, it's just keeps it going, man. I probably would never even made music again if it wasn't for him. Honestly, when I met him, I was just like, oh, what? I still see this passion. You know what I mean? So big
Yeah.
up to ID, Alu, Creative Juices Music.
Yeah, I said the same thing to him too, man. I was like, yo, I don't think I've ever met anybody either that pushes as much as he does, man. Like he
Ah,
does
yeah.
it all.
Yeah, he's definitely that's what he do, man. That dude is I don't know, man. You can't even describe him. And now Alu too, man. Alu is he stays in the shadows, but man, whenever he work on something, man, he never ceases to amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's a very talented brother, yo. So
word.
those dudes, man.
I mean, it's for like, I mean, because y'all not really mainstream, but I feel like y'all push to be mainstream because you guys push so much and you guys are everywhere. It could be in that line, you know what I'm saying? And man, y'all put in so much work. And then on top of that, the music in general, the music y'all been pushing. I mean, it's amazing music.
Yeah, it's definitely like you know what I mean in wild lanes. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different lanes in there, though. I mean, it's creative with a name like Creative Juices Music. I guess you would have to, you know what I'm saying, display artists because that's pretty much what it is. It's an outlet. You know what I mean for artists, creative artists that don't have like avenues to like put music out and. I mean, ID has so much music up his sleeve that I was just like, all right. And, you know, it, it's unquestionable. The dude is just he's a beast. So I mean,
Yeah, of
creative just
course.
music, man. That's my home. That's my fam. Man, I can never get tired of talking about those brothers. You know what I mean? They made such an impact on my life. You know what I mean? Meeting Alu and ID. So I mean,
Good
just
though,
straight
man.
up, you know,
Yeah,
that's my
I
ace.
seen how he moves, man. Like he's a positive dude. I mean, he's real hardcore with the hip hop and shit, but he's a good dude. He brought me
Nah,
into it.
nah. Yeah, definitely a good dude, man. Man, I only want to be around good people though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like these days, you gotta move with good people, man. People that still have like, good hearts and shit, It's hard to
that's
find
true.
that these days. So, especially in the music business, the music business on whatever level you want to put it on, you could be the most unknown dude on the block to like mainstream. Um, it's hard to navigate through those, you know what I mean? Because even people just always have intentions in the entertainment business. You know what I mean? It's always like they're cool, but it's always some kind of intention behind it. So
Yeah, hidden
yeah,
agendas and whatnot.
yeah, and I get it. That's the game. You know what I mean? If you play it, that's what you sign up for. So you got to try to like keep it balanced and remember, you have to have some kind of humanity and some kind of like moral compass to like navigate, your way
Yeah,
through that. Yeah, so
definitely.
definitely ill. You know what I mean? I sit back and watch a lot. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, at the end of the day, man, even aside from the creative juices, man, 'cause y'all got it, like I said, tight click, man. But you've been doing your thing for a minute. You know what I mean, like you
yeah,
are in that category of being a legend, bro, because you got so much. You brought so much to
yeah.
hip hop.
That shit always makes me feel weird when people mention my name and legend. Cause I mean, like shit. Cause I got my legends. You know what I mean? Who I consider legends. So it's just like in my head, I'm like, oh no, I ain't nowhere compared to my legends. You know what I'm saying? So um, but I appreciate that. It doesn't make me feel as weird as back in the day. As long as I know that I contributed something positive, you know what I'm saying, in this world. And you know what I mean, coming up with the arsonist, that was positive, man. We influenced a lot of people and in good ways, you know what I mean? And I constantly hear it, and to this day I have people that, step to me and be like, hey man, like, those joints, got me through a tough time in my life, you know what I mean? And they here to talk about it. So I mean, that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? That makes it worth it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't about like, catching some fame or something like that, but getting older and getting through life, and I'm realizing that's priceless, man. You can't put, if a dude is like, yo, I was depressed, I had anxiety, I used to throw these records on, and they used to amp me up and motivate me. Shit, I'll take that over anything else any day, man. You know what I'm saying? So, because that's what it did for me. You know what I mean? That's what music did for me. Coming up where I came up and coming up the way I came up, those records that I listened to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being mad young and hearing the message, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of my
Or
first, like, first joints that I kind of like memorized. So, I mean, if I could do that for somebody else, with like the message did for me, and joints like that or artists like that did for me, shoot. I'm blessed, man. Nobody could tell me that I'm not blessed. So it's
or
just like, hey,
I
I
mean, yo,
beyond
there's so
grateful.
many joints y'all did that like I passed my sons on to, and you know what I mean. Even like even though it might not sound like something that someone would pick out of like a best track lineup or something, but I do feel like that lunch table battle that y'all did was really
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
it really kind of hit home for me because I used to skip classes just to go battle cats. So it's like I was like, yeah, I see, they know where I'm coming from. I know where they coming from because a lot of cats don't battle
Yeah,
no more. You know what I mean? Don't freestyle no
yeah.
more. So it's like, you know what I mean?
It was
Like it's a
gra- it
blessing.
was uh it was grassroots. It was like the grassroots of like hip hop, man. Oh, yo, shout out to Great Scott. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Great Scott and Swell going at it on there. You know what I'm saying? That's big up to the whole arsonist, man. That's my family right there. But yeah, the lunch you take out, yo, and you hear the voices on that record, man. It was that much fun making that shit too. You know what I'm
Or
saying? Like us all in the background and just like reminiscing about school
hyping
and
each other up and whatnot. Yeah, yo, that
yeah,
vibe.
yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
vibe,
And
man.
two dudes just going at each other. You know what I'm saying? That shit. Yeah, the banging on the table. Yeah, that's one of my favorite joints, honestly, man. It took me a long time before I could become a fan
Hmm.
of music that I made. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, now I could go back and be like, oh, you know what? That was an ill time in my life, man. That's it. I'm grateful for that.
Yo, I
So
could just
yeah,
imagine just being there where that happened too. Like, you know what I mean? The feel with the vibe. It's like it's just raw
yeah,
energy. You know what I mean? And y'all was just having a
yeah,
good time. Ain't nobody get shot. It's like you know what I mean? Like everybody's having a
yeah.
good time. Like that's what hip hop's supposed to be about.
Yeah. Yo, honestly, and I'm gonna be real, man. Like, yo, it was like a lot of the times working together, like the arsonists, no matter which members were there or not, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? It was jokes, it was fun, but then like we had those real moments, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, but we took it seriously, man. We used to do, you know what I'm saying? We used to test each other. We used to go, we used to we were like the X-Men. We were like, go in the room and like try to, battle each other and stuff like that. So it was ill. It was ill. It was
Right.
definitely, you know what I mean? I mean, when I met those brothers, I was just a shy dude, you know what I'm saying? Like I wrote mad rhymes, but I didn't want to rap, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't my goal in life. You from the street, you just do it just to do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I mean, big up to those brothers because what I mean they turned me on to the art of putting records out. You know what I mean, and pressing vinyl, and I was just like, I would have never thought I would press vinyl up, man. Back in the day, like it just wasn't me. You know what I mean? I just wanted to sell trees and go about my business, and that's it. But yeah, those dudes, man, like if it wasn't for them too, it goes back to the music. If it wasn't for the music, if it wasn't for those dudes, I don't even know where I would be, honestly.
Word.
Yeah, so
I mean, the
yeah, the
hip hop
arsonist
keeps a
is
lot of
real.
us, you know what I mean, out of trouble, and it keeps a lot of us out of
Yeah,
jail, and you know what I mean. So it's definitely something to pass on to each other and still, you know what I mean, stay
yeah,
true
man.
to what you know. So it's like that's definitely a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a
If
lot
you
of good
use
brothers behind
if you use it the right way, man, it could be really, really helpful. You know what I'm saying? Like with anything, man. Like I mean, it's the culture, man. You live it. You know what I mean? You live it. It's powerful. With like any tool, like it's the way you use it. You know what I mean? Because you can use a powerful tool for the wrong reasons, or use it to hurt people, or you could use it to help people, or make the world better, or you could just use it like we witness now. You listen to music and there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. Like like you can't even find it with a
you.
moral compass. You know what I'm saying? Like you lost.
Yeah.
It's
Word.
wild. Yeah, it's wild out there, man. But you know what though? Honestly, instead of just like complaining about it and like all these these older cats getting at younger dudes, oh, this and that, man, you just gotta love them, man. You gotta love them and support them and try to like help them navigate because that's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? Like we grow through it, we gain the wisdom, and it's our responsibility to share that regardless if they're accepting it the way you want it, you know what I'm saying, or not. As long as you can, go to bed at the end of the night and be like, you know what, I put my heart into it. I try to teach this young brother like what I went through, and you know what I mean, and try to give it value. You know what I mean, because it's kind of like devalued in certain ways. It's not all about wealth, like physical wealth. It's more about like spiritual wealth and health in general. You know what I'm saying? Mental health. So yeah, definitely gotta help those young brothers.
I
So
mean, I still abide by that. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. I still abide by that. Like I'm always
yeah,
gonna,
man.
you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's like you said, it's our responsibility, especially because we've been doing it and we're trying to influence other people. So yeah, I mean, a lot of them
Mhm.
are going extra hard on these newer rappers. I seen it. I mean, a lot of their joints is trash though. Let's keep it real. A lot of their joints is trash, but at the same time though, I do feel.
Yo, 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 you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. But Yo, that's why you gotta find those diamonds, you know what I mean? Those diamonds in the rough, you know, and they are those. But I can attest to this though. Me coming up, there was mad trash in the '90s too, B.
I can only
There was
imagine.
that, but we don't talk about the trashiness, you know what I'm saying? We keep it moving.
Boy, we just put it under the carpet real quick. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We
yeah,
gonna pretend like it ain't never been heard or nothing, yo. Cause
yeah,
we from the
yeah,
old school. Well, you know what I mean? Your tracks is trash. The CD gets tossed out the window. So we from that era. A lot of these dudes is a little bit too soft to where you try to critique them on the smallest of
yeah.
things, and they get mad, butthurt, and want to go on Twitter blasts and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely a wild time right now for hip hop.
Nah, it is, dude. It definitely is. But yo, and it's ill because like you don't know where they coming from. It's like, all right, you complain about it, but you're like you on it. I don't know, man. What you trying to do?
Yeah, like what's what are we gonna do now? Like we're just gonna sit here and talk about the track. We're gonna put it out, or we gonna pretend like we never heard it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
those are the current options at the moment. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
each one teach one, man. I mean, definitely. I
Hmm.
mean, I learned a lot from y'all projects, and your albums, and the way y'all handled yourself outside of hip hop. So it's like that's something to learn from too. It's not just the music. The music hits the heart instantly. You know what I mean? For those that
Hmm.
can relate. But at the same time, it's like there's other things outside of that. You gotta be a part of the community. You gotta be a part of
Oh
the
yeah.
essence, the elements of hip hop. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that was lost from then to now that, you know what I mean, a lot of these rappers will be pissed about.
Yeah, yeah, a lot was I wouldn't say it lost, but like yeah, it's hidden away, you know what I'm saying? It definitely is like I'll talk to these younger dudes sometimes and you know what I'm saying? Like yo, hey, some people are just clueless. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know like they'll listen to like, trap or drill music and it's cool. But you should always know, the history, like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what variation, you know what I'm saying, what variant of hip hop you into nowadays, you should know the history, dude.
That's
If
what
you
we
don't
calling
know,
it, variant. Okay, we'll go with that one
yo,
though.
that's the first time I used that, but I think I'm gonna roll with it.
Yo, we gonna trademark that later. See,
Yo,
now you done. Now you just dropped the phone. Yo, I'm dead right now. Yo,
yo, for real.
we gonna trademark that later. Yo, we gonna talk to ID. We
Yeah,
gonna trademark
we can
that.
do that. We can.
Word.
Yo, it's ill because I was like, yo, this dude I'm talking about, I was like, we were kicking it. I was feeling him. I was like, yeah, I could see why you like this. You know what I'm saying? And then we go back and forth. And then I was just like, I said something about MOP, and he was just like, who the fuck is MOP?
Yeah, see?
I
See?
was
Yup,
like,
yup. I hate
I was
that
like,
shit.
yo, that's crazy. I was like, yeah, he don't. And then I was just like, MOP, and then I try to like, you try to pull out like the most commercial shit they make, you know what I'm saying? And he still, and I was just like, holy shit. I was like, I'm old. I'm just like, yo, I'm straight up old, sir.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of when it sums it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, you know what
But
I'm saying?
but you know what though? Honestly, though, even outside of that, there's just some cat that would ask like, "Yo, you know who Michael Jackson is?" And they no. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it ain't just hip hop. It's just the generation. It's the way they're being raised. It's the way they're being taught things, and it's
yeah,
different from us. So you know what I mean? They get away
yeah,
with a lot of shit we
yeah.
wouldn't get away with.
Their experience is different, you know what I'm saying? We were raised, playing outside.
Mhm.
They inside, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can put it. You know what I'm saying? Like they inside. They even sell drugs from inside. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes ain't out there like that. You know.
Yeah, there's like an app
You
for
still,
selling drugs now or some shit.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Shit, wow, man. No more footwork, no more.
No, no, everything's lazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
you'll pay that extra money to get your food brought to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
we ain't wealthy, but we want, you know what I mean? We want to pay for a butler to bring our food. You know? It's like-
I mean, you know what I mean? I do it too. I get it. I mean,
I
it's
think we all do
convenient.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's convenient. You know what I mean? If you lit, you just don't want to be like walk down the street, take the chances type shit, get it
Yeah,
delivered to your
yeah.
door.
Yeah,
So,
we don't have to go trooping to get a bag of weed these days. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta go to
word.
dude that come over and shit. Be like, all right, delivery. All right, so and it's legal. Forget about it.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, just imagine if this shit was legal back when you guys was dropping the old albums. Like this shit would be
Oh
like,
man, I don't remember. I don't remember 50% of the shit that happened back then. Imagine, I wouldn't be talking to you probably. I probably would have forgot. You know what I mean? Like I was forget about it. Yeah, yeah. Back then it's ill because we still got PTSD. You know what I mean? Like if I'm smoking in the street, I have to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because
they
back in the
watch it.
day,
Hold up.
you had to throw it on the floor and shit. You had to fucking
Yo,
swallow your dope.
out the window and shit. Like, yo, hold up, man.
Yeah,
Yo,
you
hold
know what
it.
I'm
Yo,
saying?
hold this for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how
Mm.
many times I swallowed drugs, bro. Like forget
Oh
about it. Like
shit,
yeah,
yo, word.
yeah, it was real like that. I don't think dudes worry about like stuff like that no more. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
it's
But they
crazy, it's
grow up with
crazy.
a lot of other crazy shit though. That I'm glad I ain't grow up with. You know what I mean? So it's good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like yo, when I heard cats, like I said before, like I heard cats was eating Tide Pods and shit. I'm just like, oh fuck. Y'all eating
Yeah.
detergent? I'm like, yo, what's going on? Yo, hold up, what's going on now? It's like,
Yeah.
and then they got,
Yeah. Nah, and then I mean, you don't know what's real or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I know
yeah,
at one point in history, somebody was smoking bed bugs or something, and I was just
I
like,
heard
wait a
that
minute,
shit.
yeah, bed bugs. Nigga, like, yo, what shit you smoking to make you even think of smoking a bed bug, son? Like, that's wild. I mean, I smoked oregano when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Thinking it was,
I think we all went through one of them, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I can't get my hands on this shit real quick. Let me
yeah,
I'll figure something out. I'll add something,
yeah,
take something out type shit. But
exactly. You
I
know,
remember the bed bug shit, bro. When I sat there like, yo, if they're gonna do that, they're gonna smoke roaches. That shit's everywhere. So, you know what I'm saying? They light up on some motherfucking bed roaches and shit.
yeah, that's what it. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it's a wild world out there. You know, I have an 18-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So like, like his mentality is like totally different, man. Like his perspective of the world is like, all right, I hear you, kid. You know what I'm saying? I hear you, but in my head, I'm like, yo, this shit's crazy.
And then they like stuck in between worlds and shit. So it's wild for
Yeah,
them. It's wild for them. 'Cause
yeah,
we, even though we was kind of stuck in the middle too, because of our parents and the older shit they used to play, that was
yeah.
worth it though. Yeah, I mean, I would listen. I would jam to 70s, 60s
Oh,
music. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So, but this newer shit, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, I guess, to have the bass line at 100% above the volume of everything else in the beat. I mean, I guess that's dope. I mean, you got a nice subwoofer or something. Yeah, you blowing the fucking trunk out. But, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
there's no lyricism. There's no, like, I mean, it's
Oh
just
no,
wild.
yeah,
It's
yeah. A
just
lot
wild,
of
man.
the lyricism thing is like that. That took a back. That takes a back seat. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, especially not even like. Yeah, I guess it still counts as lyricism. As long as you ain't talking something positive that can uplift people or get people together or like not have people like bump their heads and find a common denominator. You know what I mean? Like you got to be talking some foul shit in order to get like noticed and shit. You know what I mean? It's obvious. it's obvious, but people were so blind to that. It's just like, okay, we take what you feed us, and you keep feeding the person the same shit all the time, he's gonna develop a taste for shit. So he's gonna want to taste shit. So I mean, and it's like that across the board, not just music, but anything you read, ideas, concepts. You always gotta like, because that's all they are. But we make it more than a concept. We put value on things that probably aren't that valuable, but we give it value. So that's the way of the world right now. We give things value, and there's a lot of shit out there that seems valuable, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's not. It's
very
not.
much.
You know what I mean?
Well, because
So
they're trying to train us now, like materialistic shit over everything else, even family. And that includes the phones. The phones count as that too, because it's not something we need. I mean, you know what I mean? You can call somebody, whatever, but it's not. We came from that era where you had America Online and you had all this old shit, and it's like, yeah,
yeah.
we struggled. But what you said, you're right though, because there's always been an agenda. Right now, the agenda is
Oh yeah.
that love and hip hop shit, like and shit like that. Like they're making
Oh yeah.
supposed
Yeah.
to be wholesome families look like a bunch of retards, like just sitting here and hating each other and cheating on each other, and everybody thinks that's how the world's
Yeah.
supposed to be now. You know what I mean? It's just wild, and then
Nah, it
it's
is.
crazy.
It's always like you said. It's always in the oh, like my wife and I, we were watching the Janet Jackson documentary, and they got to the part with, the nipple shit. You know what I'm saying? When Justin Timberlake, like, you know what I mean, like, exposed her nipple. That whole shit was part of the agenda, bro. Like, cause now, like,
Hmm.
they went hard at Janet Jackson, son. Like, compared to now, the shit that's out there now, like, that shit made that Janet Jackson shit look like kitty shit. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we hearing and seeing now, bro. Like, they cursing on regular television. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's always like, an agenda behind shit. They went hard at her, but not Justin Timberlake. It's always some kind of an agenda, and I mean, people eat it up because people see that and we hear that and we like, you know what, yeah. We rally behind that shit. We're like, yeah.
See, that's pretty bad when our lives are so boring or whatever it is. And we gotta try to reflect what we see on these shows. It's like it is wild, you know what I mean? But you know what?
Yeah.
What's the bad part about it is like, okay, cool, they want to do that to themselves and their families, whatever. You know what I mean? That's whatever. But to throw the words hip hop in it, that's kind of where the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
problem for me is because
Mhm.
we're not doing that. You ain't gonna see us grown ass men with our families outside hitting each other and doing wild shit on camera. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like, don't call it hip hop. Say rap and love or trap and love or whatever the hell they doing.
yeah.
Because you know what I mean, you reflect that on us. That's why when we do hip hop, everyone automatically assumes we some trash bags. We doing some real
Oh, yeah,
dirty
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
or you know what I mean, we catch a bad
But
rep.
materialistic, or what I'm saying, like, we're that's supposedly a reflection of,
You'll
you
be
know what
like,
I'm
yo, I
saying, of
rap,
what
and
hip
they'll be
hop
like, well,
is.
where's your Lamborghini? It's like,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
supposed to have one. Like I thought, I'm hip hop. We
Yeah.
don't. It's just
That's
it's
what
too
I'm
much.
saying, like,
It's too much, man.
it's a long way from hip hop being, what I mean, like, really, really no money at all, man. It just went from like straight up homelessness. Like, you out in the street, you're practically homeless because you're in the street all the time. You know what I mean? Because whether your situation at home ain't good, that's where hip hop came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, the burning Bronx. It's just like that shit, it was rooted in that, and it went from that to, like, whatever this is. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know what that is. I mean, it's just following the ways of what's going on now. But yeah, that stuff is it's real crazy, man. Like, some of the stuff you see here on there is just like, all right. Like, as a parent, you gotta think like, yo, we gotta navigate our children through this shit. You know what I mean? Just like running through landmines. Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
word.
oh, it's over here. You can't hide it. You can't.
Yo, when my sons came
Yeah.
to me one day like, Dad, yo, you gonna buy some skinny jeans? No. why, why would my big ass ain't gonna look good in those skinny jeans? Like what you you know what I mean? Like so yeah, I'll be having to tell my son, I mean, y'all wanna do that, that's cool with that, but don't ever have to run up the block in them shits cause you will trip and fall. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how these dudes can be gangsters with skinny jeans running up the block. Like you ain't running from no cops in them shits. The fuck you think you doing, yo? You know what I mean? Like this shit, yeah. It's wild. It's wild times. Yeah,
Yo,
I
you
know
know
you
what?
thought about that at one point, like, yo, just watch this dude try to outrun this cop in skinny jeans, man. He's just running, holding his
Yo,
pants off and shit. Like,
like dude, like I seen this I seen this kid. I don't know, yo, if you a parent, your kid is like 3 or 4, yo, don't put skinny jeans on a 3 or 4 year old, yo. This shit, yo, that shit's not right.
what happened? Who did? Yo, who did that?
Yo, what you doing? I seen that on the bus. And I was like, yo, come on, sir. Like,
Damn.
this is what's happening. This is what's happening right now.
You
Oh, you
you
win.
know what I mean? And it's like you feel bad about it too, because you don't want to be trying to critique somebody else's child. Like, yeah, that's not it, man. Like, don't, yo, like I understand you want to make him fly or whatever it is, but yo, that's not it. Like having your kid dressed like that.
Yo, hey, that look mad uncomfortable, man. You pressing his pants up. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's not right, man. You know?
You know what I
But
mean? It don't make sense. Yeah, it don't make motherfucking sense, bro. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. It just whoever came up with the skinny jeans must have been a real skinny dude enough that it actually fit like regular pants because all these other people trying to wear that shit
yo,
look mad weird, yo. Holding the pants up to their kneecaps almost. Like it's like how are you even like
what's ill is like, you know, because yo, back in the day, I can't let them go either. The back in the day dudes.
nah, we ain't gonna do that though. Because yeah, we was wearing some people were wearing some weird shit back then too.
Yo,
I get it.
I feel like my era, like the 90s, is like my peak era. You know what I mean? But like the era right before, like before the Rakim Kara, before that,
Yeah.
like early 80s, dudes was rocking some wild shit.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fucking the see-through net skin shirts and whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it was, you know what I mean? The tight ass leather pants.
DVD, you know what I'm saying? You were like, you know, like it was fresh, but it was fresh for that era, you know what I mean? But
But see, I think the only really the boundary between that they were probably comfortable though. Like they were comfortable. I know, yo, I know that sounds kind of, you know what I mean, but they was comfortable enough to wear. Yo, I'm dead, son. I'm fucking
my
dead, yo. I'm
man
saying
said that,
they
yo,
was
it's
comfortable, I
like,
guess.
you know what? It was probably comfortable. Though.
I mean, because those clothes actually fit some of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this
But
new trend,
they were like 2 sizes away from tight, like 2 sizes away from being tight though. It was like it was right there. And then in the 90s, it just got big. Like
yeah,
dudes is trying to run for the cops with fucking 4X pants. You know what I mean? And they had a belt, but the shits is still falling. Like, and yeah, it was some weird phases, man. You know, that from there, yo, hip hop. But one thing about it is like hip hop or anything that was rooted in hip hop, like even the new shit. You know what I'm saying? All that shit was rooted from our culture. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is, all that shit was rooted in our culture. It doesn't really get like, you know, that credit. You know what I'm saying? Because everything's just surrounded, you know, with the, you know, about everything's about money and this and that. But I mean, everything comes right back around in full swing, man. Because some of this shit, you know, that I see now, and it's like, oh, they took this
I
old
used to
shit.
see that.
and,
I remember that.
and tweaked it. You know what I'm saying? They try to tweak it, and the shit might be whack, but they took some old shit and try to tweak it. You know what I mean? But
Man, I guess I'm okay with it as long as I see nobody rocking some Michael Jackson leather suits and shit. They're fucking like trying to drop the hardest fucking bars ever. You know what I mean? 'Cause then it's gonna be like I don't know, man. You talk about selling coke and shit, but you look like a backup for Michael Jackson. I don't know, like
yeah,
looking kind of sus right now to me. Like, you sure you rap?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh shit! Somebody
But
asked a
yeah,
question.
it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the rap. I mean, rap. No, I don't really have that much to say about rap music today, but yeah, I don't even know if some of this shit considered rap. But I mean, I don't know what to call it. That's why they keep coming up with new names for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, this is this kind of, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's that? And
Trip
some dude
hop,
like,
sci-fi hop, low hop.
yeah,
Like I don't know
yes,
what the
yeah.
fuck is what anymore, man. Like, it all I can't tell because it's just so many branch offs of it, and I get it. Like everybody's trying to do their own thing, whatever. But
Mhm.
if they don't know where it originated from, you know what I mean? If they don't know hip hop,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you got to go back at least, you know what I mean? Really get back in depth with that. You can't branch something off for nothing if you don't even know where it came from. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's ill, man. But there's always gonna be artists that break through and they're different. I mean, I always like to bring up Das Effects because like when Das Effects came out, there were probably niggas was like, nigga, what the fuck is this shit?
yeah, I thought, yo, on some real shit, I thought they had a stuttering problem or something because it was like I didn't like. I was like, yo, is the tape like broken? Like, what's like? It's kind of, you know what I
But
mean? It was hot as fuck though, but
dudes was dudes, somebody out there listening to Das Effects and like, yo, this shit trash. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And because they were just like, I'm sticking it, I'm sticking it up. What the what are you talking about? Yeah. So we have ours, but difference is that shit is genius. You know what I'm saying? DOS effects, they're
Yeah.
fucking dope. You know what I
Pretty
mean? DOS
much,
effects was dope. It was
pretty
dope.
much. I mean, we got our own thing, man. But I mean, the beauty of like what you and I do, like our card and all y'all, man, is the fact that you keep hip hop the way it's supposed to be. And you ain't trying to like transition in between to be a part of it between. So it's like you got because all your beats, everything. I don't hear like the extra loud bass lines, the 100%
Uh,
volume up. You know what I mean? I don't hear the fucking machine gun hi hats or whatever it is they be doing, the fucking cowbells and shit. So
yeah,
y'all,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Y'all
yeah. I
keep it
mean,
real.
yeah. But you know what it is I'm big on writing. I love writers. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ask me my favorite artists, I most of the time it's gonna be like great writers. So uh arsonist members, like those are great writers, you know what I mean? Like I learned so much from each member of the arsonist, you know what I mean? I learned from like ID. Those are all great. I was surrounded by great writers, like so everybody in my circle, like I gravitate towards that. So I appreciate that element, you know what I'm saying, which is ill because that element is, is in a certain sense it's getting lost as far as when it comes to rap. But you can't take away writing from music in general, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm a fan of all music, man. Like, I think Billy Joel is one of my favorite writers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a hip hop head, supposedly, but I listen to
Whoa,
everything.
whoa,
You know
whoa,
what I'm
whoa! Hold up,
saying?
hold up, hold up! What do you mean by supposable?
Yeah, I mean, to people, people can call it whatever they want. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by that. Like, I don't consider myself just a hip hop head. I lived hip hop. That's my culture. But I mean, as far as like music, shit, I listen to everything, bro. Honestly, I
Right.
barely listen to rap music right now. You know, like if if you come to my crib, you're gonna hear like all types of shit. You're gonna hear jazz, you're gonna hear classical, you're gonna hear salsa, you're gonna hear like just a wide, you know what I mean? Even alternative rock or or just like metal, like I'll pop in like, my man Q Unique Stillwell, the metal stuff he does, and I can listen to all that stuff because it has great writing, and
Shout out to Q
that's the
Unique.
thing.
He hopped in here
Yeah,
too.
definitely. Yeah, shout out to Q Unique. He's one of my favorite writers. He's a great writer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
he just has
definitely.
a knack for that. And he can write anything. That's the thing. Like he does just write rap. Like I'm just a big fan of it. Even my wife is a great writer. Like it's just it's
I
something I'm
mean,
in.
that is kind of what hip hop is missing, is lyricism, like you were saying. I mean, a lot of a lot of people do got some, like you know what I mean. They kind of bottom of it, but yeah, we definitely need that, and that's why I said like
Hmm.
artists like Q Unique, you, ID, Alucard, man, like your bars are on point. Like there's substance, and it's not like it's just random shit thrown together. You know what I mean? Like random ass words. You just mumble rap and everything, because
Nah,
obviously
yeah.
that's the trend, but that's what I'm saying. Y'all stick to what you know. And honestly, like I was saying before about the arsonists, y'all brought together ideas that I don't think I've ever heard anybody else really do like that. You know what I mean? Pyromaniacs. You guys had all these creative like things. It just
Yeah,
made hip
yeah.
hop what it is. You know what I mean? Like you guys were having fun with it too. That's the other problem. I feel like
Mhm.
people are not having fun no more. It's just money, money, money. Like
Yeah, yeah, and I think at that point when we got together, that's exactly how we felt. I mean, we had a sense of humor. We were always joking around with each other. You know what I'm saying? Why not put that in records? Because I mean, it's not like it didn't exist before us. We just wanted to accentuate that element of hip hop. Like because I mean, I was a big fan of Biz Markie, and Biz Markie was a damn fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
yeah.
I mean that in a good way. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Of
He was a
course, of course.
funny ass dude. Like his concepts was mad funny. You go visit those records, you're like, yo, this dude toilet stool rap. Like, come on, man. It's just like that element. Like once gangsterism came in, um, that shit took a back seat a little bit. But it's always been since lyricism, because I don't feel like lyricism was at the beginning, at the very root. You know what I'm saying? Like 70s, early 80s. Lyricism really like advanced going further into the 80s. You know what I'm saying? 80s and on. That's when artists like hip hop artists took it up a notch as far as writing. They got ill with it, like
Yeah.
crazy. But that whole like comical fun side, because that was an original element of hip hop. That's what it was about. We were trying to have fun, laugh, have a good time. You know what I mean? And
That's how it's
when I
supposed to
met the
be,
Arsonists,
man.
they were all about that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
You guys had great
I never,
chemistry though. Like even though you guys were
yeah,
having fun, you know what I mean, but you guys still brought the insight that you guys are not just jokes. You can come hard body with the tracks, and then you could also flip back to the fun side, and then you know what I mean. So that's what made
mhm.
it so perfect the way y'all work together. In general, you even you guys even as solo artists, you still bring that kind of energy. Because when I listen to your solo projects, I felt the same energy as if it was right back in that era. So it's like that's the kind of stuff people need to listen to more often. Like you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
wait, hold on. Nah, somebody asked if there was any tension ever between nonfiction and arsonists.
yeah, I was
Nah,
gonna
never.
ask that.
Nah, never, man. Yo, that's our brothers, man. Nonfiction, that is like brothers to the death, man. That shit is like never. I never even heard of that to now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I was gonna. I mean, yeah, he did mention that earlier. I was gonna ask you that, but
Mhm.
yeah, I was gonna say that was kind of a weird question, but I do see where he's coming from due to what happened. But
Yeah, yeah.
but at the same time though, man, like Yo, y'all tracks is crazy, man. Like the stuff y'all got, the stuff you've been putting out. But that song, that video definitely touched me in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
Mhm.
you had the B-boys in the background, y'all just straight head to heads, almost like you battling. It's like, yeah, yo,
Ah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
That's
my kind of shit. You know what I mean?
yeah. But that, I mean, honestly, yo, and that shit came out so much like the original show too. Like as far as visually,
Yeah.
what we trying to capture in that video, like it looked like the original show. That shit was mad fun doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fun. It was fun. You
Yo,
know, it was hard.
you gonna ever grow back the long Rico Suave hair, bro?
You know what? I'm happy to say that I can. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still growing like hair, but I don't know, man. I don't like hair.
Word.
No, it's not easy to just get up and just like if you bald, you just get up and just go, man. You wipe your head and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit, you gotta like pick what hat you gonna wear. You know what I mean? You gotta like finesse it. You know, you gotta go through a business thing, and you know, your shit is wild. You know, you gotta like it's
Is it
weird.
the business thing?
Yeah, yeah, it takes up mind space, man, to deal with hair, dog. Like, yo, the young dudes I kick with, yo, they be like, yo, during the pandemic when the barbershops closed, dudes was like, yo, oh my God. I was like,
Yup.
yo, bro, you down, B. You ain't got no
Losing their
clippers?
fucking minds, yo.
Yo, losing their minds, looking like cavemen. Like, yo, you
Word.
can't shave yourself? Nah,
Yo.
I only just
Yo.
shaved at the barbershop, son.
And then they be like, yo, I can't, like, yo, why you ain't going to date that girl? Because I can't shape myself up. I can't cut my own hair, so I'm going to stay home. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that shit, wow. You know what I
Yo,
mean? Like,
I didn't even feel bad for dudes, yo. I was just like, you know what? You deserve that big beard, son. Like you, you deserve that. Yo, dudes is like woofing, kid. I was just like, yo, just take the clippers. You know what I'm saying? Find
I
that
mean,
shit
at
on
least
YouTube.
try.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Somebody on YouTube has a tutorial on how to shave or cut your hair, B. You know what I'm saying? So,
Everything's on YouTube, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how to hijack a car, how to eat
yo,
Tide
every
Pods.
Yo, YouTube is mad dangerous, son. Everything on there. You can make anything, you can do anything.
Yep,
And
pretty
then
much.
they'll post the videos on purpose to show you how to do the shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dangerous world, yo. YouTube is a dangerous world, B.
All I know is, man, all them hair clippers around the world, they made billions during COVID. You know damn well everybody was going to the store like, yo, let me go buy this wild clipper right quick. I gotta take it.
Yeah. Yo, and those barbers, they were gouging the prices too. They was like,
Yo,
yo, yesterday's price is not today's, my nigga. They were like,
you ain't lying.
they're like,
You ain't
yo, it's
lying,
like
bro.
50 for a haircut, bro.
Word, yo, I remember this haircuts was like $12, $13. Now it's like the joints is like $20. I'm like, for what? For a shape up? Damn, I don't even got no hair, and you trying to charge me $20, yo? Jeez,
You
god
know what?
damn.
Yo, you know what was ill though? When dudes do the like, they do the lines. Like they take the Sharpie and shit. You know what I'm saying? To
Yo,
draw this shit in. You know what I mean? So if they
and then
sweat, it be
and
dripping.
then with the beards too, yo, them dudes that can't grow the beard, they be
They're
fucking
like, yo,
lining it.
it should look like an avatar, bro. Like, yo, that shit ain't even realistic, bro. I
In
was
the
just like,
avatar.
yeah, I was like, yo, that shit look wow.
Yo,
But
Sharpie made a lot of money that year too. Facts. Facts. Them niggas is billionaires now too. Like, yo, everybody want to draw on their beard and shit. We gonna sell the extra
yeah,
big
yeah,
packs.
yeah, that's wow, yo. Just make sure your shit don't smudge, you know.
Make sure you wear a motherfucking shower cap when you're walking in the streets. Put that shit right underneath the chin or something. Jeez, they got one specially made for that shit, you know?
Yeah, for real.
And then you know what's the funniest
Um,
part about all that shit too, bro? Is people be lining up their beards, but we gotta wear masks. So what the fuck was the
yeah,
point of edging up your beard for what? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, you know what I mean? $20 for that
yo,
shit.
for real, yo. Speaking of masks, yo, people don't even know how to smile no more, kid. Yo, they just like, yo, when you see a smile, you feel mad weird. You're like,
Yeah,
oh
like, am I
shit,
supposed to
like,
smile too? Am I supposed to laugh? Like, I don't want to get shot today. I'm not too sure what's supposed to happen here. Like, me
yeah,
mugging back in the day was one thing, but now it's like everybody looking butthurt or they looking all angry at the world and shit. Is like, bro, I thought that was only for the emo kids. Now y'all just like everybody face down to the concrete. Like, yeah, I don't know what to
nah,
do with myself
yo.
today.
That's real though. That's real though. Like yo, the mood is weird. Like so I was like, yo, do I want to pull my mask down to smile? You know what I'm saying? Nah, yo. You know what I'm saying? You scared to smile and shit.
They might get scared. You pull your mask down, man. They don't
Yeah,
play that
yeah,
shit no
yeah.
more.
Yo, it's true. It's
Excuse me, sir.
true.
You gotta leave.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? You fucking you sneeze and they ready to pound on you. Like, yo, my nigga, why you sneezing? Like, yo, dog.
Yeah, I can't hear you over the mask. You take the mask down so they can hear you. No, put the mask back on. Well, what the fuck you want me to do? Like, you want me to...
Yeah, that's
I pull the
yo.
mask to the side and talk. Would that make you feel better? I'm confused. Like, what the fuck is going on here, yo?
Yeah, that whole shit. Yeah, that whole shit is weird as hell, man. All that mask shit. That's just, none of that shit makes sense. But whatever, yo. People roll with it.
You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like that is a bit of a stereotype too, though. Like back to what you were saying before with the hip hop. I feel like the stereotype is we only listen to hip hop. And it's
Right.
like I don't do that. Especially if you're a producer, you're not only sticking to hip hop. You're gonna be listening
Hmm.
to Japanese. You're gonna be listening to Russian, Italian,
Hmm.
German. You know what I mean? So like that's definitely a stereotype because when a lot of people be like, "Oh, you produce hip hop," yeah, it's all you listen to is hip hop. Nah, so I
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to it all except country. Sorry, I can't fuck with that country.
Yeah. You know what? I got some country joints that I like. I can't say I'm a country head, but my mom listens to country, and she's not country, bro. But she listens to that shit though. I'm like, all right, but it is what it is,
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
country is just a different. It's almost like blues, but just a different twang to it. You
not
know,
all of it's bad. Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of it's
it's like
alright, but it's
gringo. It's
just
like gringo blues. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what we're gonna label it. I mean, all right, so be like, yo, bro, you gonna throw on that gringo music, that gringo?
that's like gringo blues, yo.
Yo, look out for that new joint, that G&B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that G&B coming out next, trademark.
Yes, sir. Now we do though. We do get like, we get that we get stereotype. And it's ill because that's the main reason why, people always want to ask me, yeah, hey, oh, you heard, yo, more than half the time, I don't know what they talking about. Cause they're like, yo, you heard that new? And I'm like, yo, who you talking about? And I ain't never hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think because they think like I'm hip hop. I heard it,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, man, I ain't hear that shit. Especially the new shit. I'm like, I'm lost. Yeah, let me hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
but
you're not looking forward to Little Jise coming out soon, new album? Yo, oh no, matter of fact, young Jise. You know what I
young,
mean? Like, what was the other one? Like ASAP Jise or I don't know. Like, just
yeah,
so
yo,
many.
it's variants. It's different variants of the same shit.
Yeah, here we go back to that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
Yo, it's true, yo. It's true. Then, like, like you got to be careful because it's like they just add like they use the same names but just like add letters and shit, or add a number or something like that. That's how a lot of people do and shit. So
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, do what they do. Start saying you're hip hop. It's not hip hop. Like I'm not. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm the type that I'm not gonna sit there and listen to your music if it's trap. You know what I mean? Because if the flyer says hip hop, I want to hear hip hop. I don't want to hear
oh
trap.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So they be baiting us with their clickbait shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
come check out
yeah.
hip hop. We got Rakim, and then we also got Lil Wayne, Lil Durk, little this, little that. It's
Yeah,
like, so you so you going to the hip hop show because the only person on there that's hip hop's Rakim.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
And that's
clickbaiting.
it's true though. Yo, and I seen like a lot of events were like that. Like people were complaining about a lot of events like that. Like they would like advertise the shit and be like, "Yo, this is hip hop shit." And then even if you trying to like listen to a new artist, like a new rap artist, you're like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna go." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go, and then you walk in there and it's some bullshit. Like, yo, what am I doing, yo? Like, yo.
He's like, yeah, damn, yo, I just lost $5. I'm leaving. It
Yo, it's
wasn't worth it,
crazy.
yo.
That's it. Like, yo, I did this show in Philly. You know what I'm saying? This is like as a solo artist. I was just like, you know what? I haven't performed in a while, so I picked up a show, and I was just like, oh, shit sounds dope. Yeah, I don't know who this is, but they booked me, so it gotta be hip hop, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I went. Not yo, I was one of the older guys. You know what I'm saying? I go up there, I fucking smash it. I'm like, they didn't even have to. I was just like, yo, I'll settle. I don't even care. I'll open up the whole night. I don't care. So I went up there. I did my thing. I ran through the shit. Yo, when I perform, yo, I don't perform vocals under my shit. I just run through the whole shit. So if I mess up, I mess up. You know what I'm saying? I improvise. That's how we did it back in the day. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yo, I get on stage, yo, I'm drenched, sweat. I put mad work in. Now I go out there, I start watching these dudes, and they're like, when I'm coming on stage, the young dudes is like, yo, how do you even do that? And I was like, do what? Because I'm thinking everybody gonna do this. And he's like, just like you didn't use vocals. You just went through the whole thing. I'm like, yo, my mind was boom.
Yo,
I was like, what are you
yeah.
talking about? And then I watched them. Yo, all their sets was like over vocals. I was just like, yo, I, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. At that moment, I was just like, yo, I'm never doing this shit again. I'm like, yo, I'm done with this shit. I was like, yo,
Yo, I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised.
I ain't share that thought with nobody. I just kept it to myself. But in my head, I was just like, yo, why am I even doing this shit? I was like, I didn't understand. I'm just like, these dudes, you run circles around, and these niggas, I swear, I felt like I was gonna strangle somebody. If they came on stage breathing hard after doing that shit, yo, I would have strangled them. 'Cause I was just like, yo, y'all crazy. And the dude, the vocals playing, and the dude be like, he'll do like 3 words. Let his vocal play for like 4 bars, and then jump back in. That nigga cheating. He was cheating, yo. He was cheating.
Yo, you ain't lying. Nigga got the game
That
genie on the
man,
set right quick.
yo, you cheating, sir. You cheating hard body, sir.
And I know. Right after they perform, they probably walk right up to you too, be like, "Yo, you want to do a collab?"
No, yo, I know they ain't want it, kid. I was just like, yo, they left me alone, B. They never like after they gave me props and I got off stage, it looked like they were like kind of like, you know what I mean, like embarrassed a little bit, when like a young kid is just like, oh man, like they knew, cause yo, I stood in the middle like a G kid in the middle. I was dead center, and I was just like. And I know they see me because I was right in the middle, yo. I was just like, they knew it. I know they see me in the crowd. I was just like, all right. But it was wild, man. I was just like, that's when I realized I was just like, and then I went to a few other concerts, and I was just like, oh shit, this is this is somebody. I don't know if they just winging it or somebody taught them this. Who started that shit? I think
Yo.
it was the bigger artists because the big artists always did that. Like on television, sometimes on Soul Train, they would like just play the vocal track and to do the lip sync.
Yeah.
I don't know who thought lip syncing for hip hop was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I think it came from like just like the other music genres doing it. You know what I'm saying? On live television or even at concerts, they were just like, Milli Vanilli. You know what I mean? Like they're just like straight up like,
I think it's
you
more of an
know.
insecure thing. Like I think because a lot of them use the vocal in the background as a, you know what I mean? Like trying to
Yeah.
amp themselves up because they're scared and shit. But I mean, it's
Or you
not.
don't sound the same. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like I could be honest and be like, yo, I don't sound the same. I don't sound the same on stage, and the energy's different. I'm trying to give you something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The same thing, same joint, but I'm trying to like, kick it different because I some people are like that. They want to hear it the way they hear it on the song. But I just feel like as an entertainer, you have to take it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Give it a different energy, give it a different life. Um, but yeah, these dudes, they just like you said, it's just like, if you don't really teach them how to do it, you know what I'm saying, they're not gonna do it. That's I know from being in the industry, a lot of mainstream artists like that's how they did it. I mean, I've been on tour with artists like that, like big tours that artists would do that, or they'll have their whole like, they'll have like a whole hook, what I'm saying, playing. And that's cool.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? That's cool if you're a solo artist and you ain't got a hype man. I get that. I totally get that shit. But to just be like spit like 2 bars and then let 4 bars play and then like get you only performing the ad libs live, you know what I'm saying? That's weird. That's weird. And I seen a
yeah.
dude was like, he did his whole ad libs through like 3 songs. He didn't kick none of the lyrics. And he was like, and I'm like,
Yo.
yo, you got like 6 dudes on stage and none of y'all know your lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody gotta know it. Like tell your boy that it was just weird, man. And I was just like at that moment, I was just like, I took a step back for a little while. I was just like, you know what, man? I ain't doing this live shit again for a minute.
Damn, that's pretty
Yeah.
bad too. Cause I know you was probably like you after mad long, like yeah, all excited,
Yeah.
and you gotta deal with the
No,
whole
because
shit.
I was never I never considered myself a great live performer as a solo artist. I was just like I never considered. And then when I would like when I would mess up a show and then go as planned, I would be hard on myself for that shit. And then to watch this dude like just not care and celebrate himself because he just spit Alice. I'm like, it really hit home. It hit home because I was just like, you know what? I think, yeah, like I don't think I'm doing this shit again, like,
That
but I
shit is
did it
crazy.
again. I did it again. So,
just this time, make sure I'm the flyer.
yeah,
Says no vocals. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I was in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? I was in my feelings. I was just like,
I mean, yeah, because I mean, I could only imagine how much effort and time and you put into it. And just you just
yeah,
hop on the stage, don't even say
yeah.
nothing. The whole track put it in the
Yeah,
background,
that's
yo.
what I'm saying. And yo, I was like, I remember rehearsing for that show for like weeks. And and
Oh
and, and me
shit.
and my DJ, like me and my DJ were getting at each other, like down each other's throat, like, nah, we gotta get this shit right. And I'm like, when we left there, yo, we felt mad deflated. Can't we like, yo, we didn't even say nothing. We just walked away from each other. So he was just like, you know what? We going our separate ways, man.
Damn. It's like it was that the show was that bad. It's like yeah, we going yeah we took the same car here, but we leaving separately.
Yeah, it was weird, man. The whole thing it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole setup. And I was in Philly, and I was just like, I wasn't with a crew. You know what I'm saying? I was just by myself. But that's how I usually roll anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like I usually, minimal amount of people. You know what I'm saying? I get weird before shows. Like I like to be quiet. I like to be left alone. You know what I mean? So you could imagine how difficult that shit was with the arsonists. You know what I mean? Like, this, some of those dudes would be in your face, like, yeah. I'm like, yo, nah, I don't do that, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm laid back. I'm cool. I like to meditate before I, get on stage and shit. But
Nah, no
dudes,
doubt. I mean, to each his own. You know what I mean? Whatever helps bring a good show. I mean, it works.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But in those type of situations, it's tough with the trap niggas because all of them are all doing weird shit in the crowd. And, you know what I mean? Everybody in the crowd knows the lyrics, so everybody it's kind of weird, especially when you're in a room for 20 of the same people for the same people. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they'll be mad quiet from when you hop on stage. Here comes the vet, Jise. Everybody mad quiet because they know each other. And then
Yo,
this man
everybody
hops
like,
on
yo,
stage.
who is this guy? Like,
Yeah.
Chase. Yo, who is this guy? I'm like, yo,
Then
it's
this man
cool.
hops on there with his fucking vocals in the background. But what's the point of the
Yeah,
vocals? And the whole crowd is your family, friends, and cousins, and you know what I mean? They
yeah,
rapping the lyrics over the vocals. You don't even need the vocals. You don't even need the fucking beat.
exactly, exactly. But I mean, that's the nature of it. You know what I mean? I mean, I hope that the art of like the live show doesn't go away. Like with the pandemic shit, like people got like a little, you know, used to like doing, live Zoom shows and shit. And I was just like, that's dope, but like sometimes you like it's nothing compared to like the live show where you have a gathering of people there and it's just like everybody,
Yeah.
it's almost like church, everybody would congregate. You know what I'm saying? And be there and like that energy is just different. Um, but definitely like I'm a big fan of live show. I've seen some really dope live shows. That's one thing I did take advantage of, like going on tour everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And touring with some like incredible artists and like seeing some of my like childhood heroes perform or share the stage with them. That priceless, man. You know what I'm saying? Or just like meeting, certain people you grew up on. It's nothing like that, you know.
Yeah,
But
that's a timeless treasure right there. Like,
yeah, so the live show thing is dope. And like I met a lot of good people on the road. So I like live shows. I hate lazy live shows. And you know it's ill is like, and I don't care who hears it, but you know what I don't like rap shows where they have a roster like of like 10 artists, B. And yo, that shit drives me crazy, B, because it's just like, yo, that's too much. It's too much, man. It's too much rapping, yo. Like, at least at least cut the set short. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you can't have 10 people doing 4 albums, kid. That's 10 albums. So
you
I'm
know what I'm
going
saying?
home.
You
Yeah,
have to
I'm
buy a
going
lot of
home.
alcohol.
Yeah, I'm going home like at the second act, dog. Like, and you waiting for the last act. So I'm like, yo, I'm not waiting for this dude to perform at 3 in the morning. That whole like, hopefully when live shows come back in full force, they leave that shit behind. You know what I'm saying? The whole, yeah, we can have 1 billion people perform and shit. It's
You
like,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And then they started at 10. It's like if you can have a
yeah,
roster of that many people,
that's what I'm saying, yo, not yo, shit,
it's just
but
wow, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
not
any
a
way to
big
make
fan.
money.
Yeah, yeah, and I love organized shows. That shit, it's just like albums. When I listen to albums, people don't listen to albums no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to an album, I love like the transition, the flow of it, the cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like I pay attention to that. I like the live show to be just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I seen Public Enemy perform, those dudes had a cohesive like performance. Like it wasn't just like, yo, throw on the next joint. Yeah, hey yo, throw on this joint. And it's just like these dudes like you could tell like it was like watching a movie, you know? like watching those dudes perform. Um, I'm into that. Like I don't like or like shows that are disorganized. It's hard to pick them out. So when you get good like promoters throwing shows, you know what I'm saying? You can I try to like stick with them. Like, all right, I know what to expect when I go to this promoter's like event. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
just
I'm
gotta
into a lot of
keep a
shit.
little record, a little,
Yeah,
I mean, a
yeah,
little
yeah.
mental log, real quick, and I mean, that's just how shit is. But that's all I'm saying. Like the fact that y'all can keep up with the time and still be yourself is a beautiful thing. Because unfortunately, a lot of the hip hop artists that we listen to back in the days now are trying to fit in. They're doing a bit too
Oh,
much of it. You know what I mean? It's just be where you're
yeah,
comfortable and just do what you know is supposed to be. Like I know everybody probably struggling, so like let's convert
yeah.
to the trap music and make some quick bucks. But is it really worth giving up your whole career of just straight hip hop to just spit the worst fucking verse ever on a trap
Yeah.
beat?
I mean, and yeah, and it's like there's very few artists that can go over to a certain sound and keep their essence. You know what I'm saying? Very, very few. You know what I mean? I can't even think of one from the top of the head. So most of the time, it's not gonna work because they trying to convert their everything. They're trying to fit into that shit. They're not trying to create something new, like build something off of a new sound and combine it with an old sound. They're just like straight up like it's just like Fat Joe and those weird boots. You know what I'm saying? Like nah. And I say that like as a meme. You know what I'm saying? Like just like that, so you get that picture, like or like a dude that that's not him. You know what I mean? But he's doing that.
Yeah,
It is weird, but I mean, I got to give him love. You know what I mean? It's not my thing. I'm probably not gonna support it, but you do your thing. Everybody, if that's what you feel you have to do, I have no choice but to be like, all right, man,
I
do
mean,
you?
me personally, I wouldn't want to see Fat Joe or Big Pun in some skinny jeans, like. You know what I mean? Shutting down the block and shit, shooting shit up. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I'd prefer. There's got to be some kind of boundary in between what us as hip hop heads can do and what we shouldn't do. And like some of
Nah,
that
yeah,
shit,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
And
hear
like,
you. I hear you.
but at the same time, like I said, because y'all came from the perfect era of hip hop, and I think that's why also, like you said, you reminisce because how y'all all was in the same room together, and y'all was doing everything together. All that
Mhm.
shit changed. 'Cause now everybody's doing through the emails and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
vocals and
different.
yeah, the Zoom shit. I mean, like you said, you can tell. You can tell the energy when somebody's in the same room with somebody else if you
Yeah.
actually doing it. You know what I mean? So
Unless you really, really vibe with that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you could still hear the vibe that you guys had between. Like, if I was to do a joint, like Q is on the West Coast, you know what I mean? And I'm here. If I could say that, like, if I did a joint with Q, we gonna keep that same energy, But that's because we built it off of that energy from back then of being around each other. It's a totally different thing now. Like there's a lot of features that I don't regret anything, but I could look back on them and be like, eh, this didn't hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you send your vocals, like you record the vocals over the reference track or the beat, and then like when they mix it down, they mix your shit down like somewhere else, like in Finland or something, and the shit is off. Your vocals slightly off, and you're wondering if they just hear music differently, which is probably what it is. You know what I mean? But your vocals off. That's not how you did it. That's the problem with email, like emailing back and forth. It's not like being in that studio and be like, "Yo, I want to do another one. Let's take another take. Let's do
you ain't
this."
lying.
Oh
You ain't not lying. Yo, that's the chemistry. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like being
it's
on the
supposed to
block,
be.
just like being on the block, battling each other, freestyling, and you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that was all you had to be there type shit. We need more of that. We
Yeah.
need You know what I mean? I'm the type to still go out in the street, be like, yo, son, like, let's kick this freestyle, just like live on the spot. Like, that's the type
Hmm.
of hip hop I was used to. But now I still up to somebody, yo, kick a freestyle, yo, let me get my phone, let me type it out real quick, and then I'll write, I'll rap it back to you. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I'm like, all right, all right.
It's like,
But
yeah, it's cool. I mean, I understand, but a little critique, man. You want to advance yourself as being an MC, like read a dictionary, do something. You can just sit here typing
yeah,
away.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, you want to read something? At least have that shit written, bro. You're not gonna, you're not gonna tell me, you're not gonna tell me. Hold up, yo. Let me just write something real quick. I'm like,
Yo, you be surprised. You be surprised, man. You know what I mean? And that's the craziest part about it. It's just, I mean, that's your comfort zone, cool. But you know what I mean? Like I feel like like your generation for the '90s hip hop, man. Like I feel like that was a smart era, smart, um, the originators. Like there was a lot going on, and like a lot of
yeah.
cats, they can't do that now because they have no idea what it's like to be kicked out of a cipher. You
Hmm.
know what I
I
mean? They
mean
don't.
that era, like you said, it was just like it was a different era, and it was like a really like it was an era. It was a crazy era for everything. You know what I'm saying? Because the world was changing drastically in the 90s from like, that whole decade was crazy. Like things changed so much. So like, like back then everything was just like, and I just really feel like hip hop music took a big turn in that decade. And I wouldn't say for the better. I would say, for the other half because there was something so powerful there, but it was so powerful that it was scary because you had a voice. Like people will find the voices, you know what I'm saying? And this started from the late 80s. You know what I mean? Once you started hearing songs like Self-Destruction, stuff like that, and you see the power that hip hop has, so they had to weaponize hip hop because, for their own benefit, because where's this gonna go? It's getting too rebellious. It's getting, you had artists like Dead Prez. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? They
bro.
were they were getting major label deals. We can't have that. You know what I'm saying? You can't have Dead Prez be on. Come on, bro. Like, what kind of influence is that gonna have? You know what I mean, on the world? We can't have that. So you flip that around. Look at back then, and like look at what they have now, and it's crazy. It's like they totally flipped it. It was just like, yo, this has to be shitty. This has to be, you know what I'm saying? This has to be the lowest of the lowest. We have to disrespect each other. We have to focus on physical wealth. None of it is like back in the 90s when, you know what I mean, you had motherfuckers saying shit. Like you had people speaking up about police brutality and you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. These days it's just like, huh, most you're gonna hear is about people killing each other, really. And we had artists that were like killing each other in the 90s as well, but it was more
Yeah.
balanced because you had your MOPs, but you could balance that with that press. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
see,
Like,
that seemed like, I mean, not to say it that way, like nobody deserves to die, but it was more like there was meaning behind the whole incident.
nah,
Now,
yeah,
you know what I mean, now it's like, yo, dudes wearing pink, let's kill each other over it. It's like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like it's very weird, and it's like
yeah,
people are too soft. Everything is fucking user friendly. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
There's no
everything is
balance. It's no balance, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? You watch Star Wars, it's like totally tilted. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally dark side is it. Everybody's in
yeah.
exile now, like everybody's just like, if you got something positive to say, you're a target pretty much. If you even
Yeah,
if you expressing your opinions that aren't popular opinions, people fucking they butt hurt. Everybody's
mm,
offended now. It's just like you can't say, you can't express your ideas and shit without somebody saying, "Oh well, how could you say that? You know, it's not fair. And I'm like, come on,
Word.
bro. Like, man up, man. We grew up on fucking Archie Bunker and Good Times. You know what I mean? Like, totally two totally different extremes, but there was a balance.
Yeah.
That's the fact of the matter. It was a balance. Now it's all like it's all this, and it's
Well, the
barely
one
any of
thing,
that.
the one thing that did not change is the conspiracy theorists back then are still the conspiracy theorists
Oh
now.
yeah,
So that's the
yeah,
one thing that didn't change. You start talking anything about the government, and forget about it. You're
mhm,
automatically an extremist to something. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that didn't
And then
change for
yeah,
us in hip hop.
yeah. That shit is it's difference with conspiracy theories. A lot of them niggas is right, but still. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of them that were wrong, you know what I mean? They were crazy, but at least there was a balance, you know. But
Word.
now, man, you gotta watch your back. You gotta watch your back if you believe in anything. Like if you
Yeah,
believe in God, you gotta watch your back. If you don't believe in God, you gotta watch your back. Like
yeah.
it's just wow, you know?
It's yo.
So
Every day we targets. If we ain't targeted by the
yeah,
cops, we targeted by religious crazies and
yeah, yeah,
trendsetters, and you know what I mean. Like we stuck in like the Matrix type
yeah.
shit.
But if you're like if you make shitty music that you know what I mean that does nothing but tear the hood down, tear the morality, the morale of the people down, it's okay. Oh, we could do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could talk
Yeah.
about this, but you can't talk about that. And it's not one person or one entity. I just think it's people in general, you know what I'm saying? Because you have these DJs, you have these program directors, you have everything is a fucking food chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's everybody from the lowest level to the highest level. It's just like if you support if you support this, you know what I'm saying? You're giving it power, you're giving it strength. You have to choose a side, not a side as far outside from yourself, but you have to choose a side within your own heart. Like, all right, what's right and what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? Or like, am I gonna like hate or am I gonna love? That's a choice we wake up with every day, man. You know what I mean? Like, people don't care about that. People just like they wanna just get up, start running. Everything's a grind. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers are scared to be by themselves. They scared to like stop and think. I mean, there's people that can't sit in a quiet ass room. As long as you can't sit by yourself, you cool. It's all a version. You know what I mean? Like you want to be out. Like you don't want to be in a quiet room. Especially
Yeah,
with like
yeah.
somebody else. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in a quiet room because it's like it's scary. So motherfuckers is doing everything and anything to not be, you know what I mean, to not like think like you said, like back in the early 90s, people were like thinking too much. So it's just like, all right, these niggas is thinking too much. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we was all a pack of overthinkers and shit. But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we
There's
had
too
a
many
lot to
causes.
worry about though. You know what I mean? 'Cause like we was talking about with the
Yeah.
whole weed shit back then, you had to look over your shoulder. You know what I mean? Puffing L and shit. Cops is
Yeah.
coming. Now you could be some emo kid just lighting up in the street and it's cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
we come from different situations. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
instead of people getting killed over 8 ball jackets, Tim's, Jordans,
Yeah.
they getting killed because somebody called them fat online. It's like shit
Yeah,
is
yeah,
fucking.
it's true.
You know what I mean? Shit is more fucking wild out here.
It's true, man. I mean, think about it. You have like fucking like drill music, and this is like nothing against. Yeah, everybody can do their thing, but um, man, if you base a whole fucking genre of music on like just fucking killing each other, bro, yo, that's wow, son. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's like that's the like sign of the times type shit. Like all right, this is what it's coming to. You know what I mean? But like I said in the beginning when we started talking, I could only do but so much, but like just be myself and be there and love people. Try to love people unconditionally, regardless of their faults or what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate you for what you listen to, what you do. I mean, I did my shit when I was young. You know what I mean? I can't look at this youngster and be like, oh, you whack because you're doing that, man. I did whack shit when I was young, bro. You know what I mean? And I mean, even on the music level, like I've done whack shit. I done hell yeah, I done whack shit. You not a fucking artist if you never done some whack shit. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean? If you,
you
yeah, you
only
know,
win when
like,
you only win when you lose. I mean,
yeah,
as
that's what
much
I'm
as you know
saying.
what I mean.
That's a process. That's a process.
Exactly.
You mess shit up and you learn from that. And you get better from it. You know, you analyze that or you meditate on that and you tweak it. You know, I did this last time. I don't sound good. That tone is wrong for this instrument. This instrument is too high for this tone. Like that's not shit I was doing in the 90s. That's shit I picked up going along and learning music. You know what I mean? And just building with people and you know building with musicians because I'm not a fucking musician. You know what I mean? Like I could pick out musicians, but I've always considered myself more of a poet. Like I can't pick up a bass. I can try to play it, and I could probably like pick something up, but nah, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not gonna do that shit on stage. I'm not gonna play lights out. You know what I mean? Like that's not me. My power is with the pen. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's kind of
I'm a
crazy you
vocal.
said that because I was gonna say that, but you know what I mean. With everybody, the way people get critiqued nowadays, you never know who's gonna think what. So, but when I
Yeah.
heard your previous joints, you know what I mean, it definitely had a
Mhm.
poetic edge to it. The way I was
Mhm.
listening to it, and it was kind of I loved the way you did it too because it was like it would be a dark ass symphony style beat, but yeah, you come
Right.
man poetic with it. And it's like that shit is dope. Like I feel like that's actually another part of hip hop we're missing. The poetical edge, not just the punchlines, the metaphors, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
we need that
Oh
too. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
and that's a good point you brought up because it's like when I released the Passion of Jise. I
Hmm.
released that album, and that album like most of those joints on there were like poems and journal entries, like dream because I used to keep a dream journal when I was young. So I took a bunch of those dream journal entries and poems and I made most of those joints, at least 80% of those joints on that album were poems and journal entries that I had to like fix and make them rhyme and rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those didn't really, I didn't really write them like that. I had to make them work for music because they weren't written in music. So like a lot of times, like,
Oh,
it
so
wasn't
they were
like
pre-written before the beat. That
yeah, a lot of
that's
those.
crazy.
Yeah, and I had to like adjust them. Some of them were like way more difficult than the others to turn into like rhymes, but like the shit worked. You know what I'm saying? And then like the visuals for that shit also like the visuals for that album. Like if you look at that cover and the inserts and stuff, those are like a lot of visions that I sketched out from my dreams as well in my book. We just got an artist to like bring them shits to life. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's really like a poetic edge. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing. You know.
Yeah, I
So
mean, like yeah, like you were saying with the video and whatnot, like it was like the album in general was dope. Like, and then you got like Mr. Sunshine and shit. You got a lot of dope poetical tracks, man. But the beats to it are like mad hard. So it's like you wouldn't expect it to be the way it is. You would expect you to be like on that slap you music, but you took it a whole other
yeah,
way.
there's not a lot of that on that album. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a I'm the best MC alive type album. So that's my brother. That's my little brother right there. He played Mr. Sunshine in that video. So,
Yo, that daddy's little girl joint, man. That shit was crazy.
oh man. Daddy's Little Girl, man, that's one of my favorite joints. Fucking Q Unique produced that one.
Yeah, I
Q
seen
Unique came
he
through.
produced a bunch of them, man, and that's crazy.
Yeah, he did. He did. ID produced like one or two as well. Frank Sassoon. They did a good job, man, because I was looking for some sound, and I know I was a pain in the ass when it came to that, but I always had a good like chemistry with Q Unique. He he just knows me well, you know what I'm saying? And ID, of course, that was automatic. Soon as I heard ID's beat, I already knew automatically what I would do to that. But I mean, without those dudes, man, that album, and my wife, she contributed to the artwork for that album as well. You know what I mean? She
Oh,
she took the
nice.
pictures in hand, and we just like, we had an artist just hook it up. So my tight knit circle, everybody contributed to that album. So that
Nice.
album's real special to me, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of dope tracks on it, man. Like, I mean, all the joints I've heard. You know what I mean? Because even the Chronicles too. Like,
Oh yeah, that Chronicles too, man. That shit, yeah, I don't even remember. Yo, that was like so many different producers and so many different like demos on that joint. Oh man, but it's one of my favorite releases as well, yo. So
what do you think is your favorite track off that album?
the Chronicles,
Hmm.
shit. The Chronicles, damn, that's a tough one, man. There's so many joints on there that I
Uh-huh.
like.
Yeah, yeah. I had to hit you with that, put you on the toe shit right quick because there was a lot of dope ass bangers on there. It was kind of hard to. I mean, I was finally able to pick one. It took a
I think
little bit of time.
I think it has to be the shovels joint.
Yo, that shit was banging.
There's a
Shotty.
Yeah, with Shoddy on
Ooh,
it. That
that shit
shit
was
hit
crazy.
hard. And Shoddy, man, that dude like that shit, yo, he laced that shit, man. Like he inspired that joint. So I was just like, all right. He came up with that hook. But that album was like it was kind of like doing the Arsonist album. It was very like fucking like spontaneous. It wasn't like we didn't sit there and try to like write intricate shit. We just like let it flow, you know what I mean? And ID pushed for that shit to happen. So
It's definitely
but
worth it, man. It was
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
worth it.
it was worth it. I mean, I haven't listened to that shit in a while, but I'll probably revisit that shit this weekend though.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, yo, my favorite joint off that shit was Burst Through the Door with Pace One.
Oh, burst through the door. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was fire, man. And then the DJ hook, that shit was
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Nah,
And gunpowder treason.
my wife says Baba Vakian. That's her favorite joint. Yeah, that's one of the
Yeah,
oldest joints too. So,
yeah,
but
yo, there's a lot of dope joints out there, man. And you got, I believe on the album, you had the joint with ID and Alucard, right? Defiant.
yeah, yeah, that was the first Defiant joint we ever did together.
Yeah, y'all got
That
a
was,
whole trilogy of that shit.
yeah, yeah. But it started on that album. It was like Defiant. That's when like what I mean. We were like, yo, we could do this trio thing. You know what I mean? That's what started it. We was just like, yeah, we got a good chemistry. So I like that joint too, man. We sound like babies, yo.
Word, yo. That gunpowder
Yeah, so
treason too, though,
long
man.
ago. Huh?
That's that gunpowder treason, man, was crazy.
Oh yeah, man. That shit was mad weird. I don't yo, my vocals, you see how scratchy them shit sound? We don't even know to this day why my vocals sound that scratchy. But we ran with that shit, so
Fuck it, it worked. It worked with it, man.
nah, definitely it worked. It worked.
And it had a dope intro too, man. Like,
Yo, you inspire me, man. I gotta revisit that joint. I'm gonna
yo,
revisit that Chronicle shit this weekend, yo.
hell yeah, yo, that shit that I'm saying, man. Like I said, you would have like the hardest fucking beat and still drop some crazy knowledge or something. You know what I mean? So it's like I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you do with all that, yo, because it's
Nah,
hard.
good looking, yo. I'm grateful for that, man. Like And it's, you know, it's good to like, you know what I mean, be appreciated and shit for like that element, you know what I mean, that writing element, because not a lot of people, you know, point that out. They'll, you know, they'll point out the energy, they'll point out the flow, but yeah, sometimes people just don't hear it. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I mean, 'cause they picky listening instead of listening to, you know, the message behind it. They're gonna listen to the beat. They're gonna listen to the energy, like you said. So I mean, I try to appreciate everything all the way down to the hi hat. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I like to listen to
Yeah,
hip hop sometimes. But
yeah, same here, man. Same here. That's how I like listening to music in general, man. Like just you get immersed in it, you know. So
most
definitely
definitely,
appreciate that shit.
most definitely, most definitely. I'm gonna ask you, what was one of your favorite joints off the Arsonist joints? You got a favorite out of those?
Oh shit! Damn. What? Damn. See, I got favorites from each album. You know what I'm saying? So like from As the World Burns, it
Yeah.
was probably the original the original Blaze.
Yo, that joint. Whew.
Because we redid that song a few times. But the original joint had my boy Ching Rock on it.
Mm.
Um, but that version was ill. That version was like my illest one. On Date of Birth, um, it had to be one of my favorite joints was Q Unique Language Arts.
Yo, that too. But real quick, visiting back to Blaze, like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, honestly, as a fan, I first was like, yo, these cats are spitting mad quick. You know what I mean? That was like the first time I probably heard that besides the Bone Thugs and Harmony, like that real quick tempo, that real quick flow,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciated it. So I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. The way y'all was going at it. In language arts, the way that he introduced the hip hop, the kung fu, the sound
Yeah,
effects. The sound effects are some of my favorite movies that he is in there. And, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
He stuck to the concept, and yo, that shit is hard. It's hard to only rap about kung fu and nunchucks and shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man. He lays that shit, man. But he's always been into like martial arts. You know what I mean? He practices martial arts, and his brother did too. So, like, you know what I mean? That he grew up like that. You know, martial arts and hip hop. That was like him. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite joints. And then like we released the Lost in the Fire demos. And I like all them shits because all those Lost in the Fire demos, all them shits was like pre As the World Burns. It was like we recorded a lot of those joints when we first met. So like a lot of those Lost in the Fire demos, I like all of those. They're really dope. There's no favorite joints on that one,
nah, no
but
doubt, no
yeah.
doubt, no doubt. Yo, yeah, I gotta ask you this question, man, because you know what I mean. You had the break dancers in there too for the video and all that. Like, you do any break dancing or anything outside of the hip hop nature?
Who me?
Yeah, yeah, you.
Nah, nah. You know what? Like I did that shit when I was young, like young, way before the arsonist. But like as I got older, I definitely wasn't a breaker. I know that a lot of people stepped to me like because we when we did the Roots video, it was their clones video. I we were part of that video shoot. And if you watch that video, you know what I'm saying? Like they got us listed, the arsonists are in there. They got us listed as B-boys.
Ha,
And when you watch that video, you see me like they pick my shots. So it looks like I'm like one of the main B-boys in that video. But I'm not a B-boy.
damn. Damn, yeah, that That's a trip in the time machine, real quick.
Yeah, for real, man. When you next time you watch that clones video, you watch the way they made me look. I'm doing footwork. I'm doing it, but I can't sit here and say I'm on some b-boy level. You know what I mean? I know how to do it because I grew up in that shit. But I'm definitely
Yo, not for nothing, looking back at this video, bro, when I seen you with the hair like that and everything, I thought you was going to start breakdancing in the video next. I was expecting Jise to fucking be doing head spins and shit. I was going to be like, oh, shit. All right.
that's shit. That's what everybody expected. You know?
I mean, you look like a b-boy to me. I was like, yo, he can start pop locking and some shit. Watch.
Exactly, yo, exactly. I used to always get that. And I used to always, like, I know that, like, the arsonist dudes, I know I must have gotten on their nerves mad times because a lot of times they wanted to do, like, live routines. So we always wanted to put, like, every element in the live show. But I was always resistant on the breaking part. I was just like, nah, man, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not playing myself, and they were all better dancers than me. I'm like, yo, I'm not doing that shit, but I still did it sometimes. You know what I mean? But
He's like, I'm gonna do the two-step. You know what I mean? Y'all can spin on your heads, and I'll just do the 1-2 step.
Exactly. If you look at this video, the 14 years of rap, you notice they ain't used none of my shots.
Yo, I just fucking noticed that. Right as you said that shit, damn.
I got cut, son. I got cut.
Damn. Yo, that's a timestamp in hip hop right there.
Yo, the most dancing you see is me like moving like side to side in my own shots. Yo, they didn't use none of my shots, dude.
That's like, crazy.
Yeah. And in the Roots video, they put the shot in slow motion so it looked dope. But if they had it in the regular speed, yo, it should have looked whack. So, it's all movie magic, yo.
I mean, you tried though, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's all good. I mean, the hair would have gave you leverage if you would have did the head spinning though. Like, you would have been straight. You wanna overtip the side.
One thing I did, like, you know, I was okay at footwork. I was a lot better when I was younger, but I was nasty with hand glides. That was my thing when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? When my brother, you know, let him rest in peace, when he was alive, he was the actual B-boy. He was the original Jise 1. I took his name. But yeah, he was more of a B-boy, you know, so whatever breaking I knew I picked up from him. I just figured that, you know, my writing and, you know, my vocals is a stronger suit for me. But yeah, you know, when I was younger, I would, you know, I've battled in Coney Island by the Himalaya, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I would always do the same move, you know what I'm saying? So it would always be like, you know, top rock, you know what I mean? Go do floor work, it's a hand glide. But I had like multiple different kinds of hand glides. But as I got older and I got heavier, shit was harder to do, man. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured I'd ask, because, you know what I'm saying? You never know, man, because I feel like a lot of MCs in the 90s was breakdancing. Like, I mean, they might not have showcased it necessarily, but they were.
Nah, they were, though. They were. I remember that's the first time we did a show in Ohio with Common. And my man Common, like, I was like, that's the first time I seen Common break. I was like, what?
Oh,
this
shit.
Dude break? Yeah. He jumped in the circle, and this dude was like doing top rock. He did floor work. He jumped into windmills, into batsmen, and a freeze. And I was like, Common?
Yeah, right? Like, whoa. Yeah, so
like,
he don't just.
Yo, I had so much respect for him after that. I was just like, yo, my man, he jumped off the stage and jumped into the circle with B-boys. Yeah, I was like, all right, you brave, bro.
He was like, yeah, I'm a little jelly in the belly, just a little bit, cause you know what I mean. I wanna
Yeah,
do that off the stage backflip shit. Too.
yo, it was dope. It was dope. It was ill, yo. It was ill. So you never know, man, because a lot of these cats, like me. I mean, we grew up into hip hop, so like we probably know how to break, but we not breakers. You know what I'm saying? We not like official breakers. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, that's our thing. That's how we grew up. Like if we at a party or something, we probably gonna break them out. I won't break now. You know what I'm saying? But a few years ago, I probably would have jumped in. Definitely.
man. I mean, the fact that you trying either way though, man, it's dope. I mean, it is hard. Don't get it twisted. Everybody thinks breakdance is easy. It is not, yo. Especially if you're a bigger
Nah.
dude, like it is not fucking easy.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. That's why it's like it's definitely a part of hip hop. It's definitely an art. It takes.
Oh yeah,
Oof,
definitely. But that shit is in the Olympics, right? That shit got accepted into the Olympics.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Some shit like that, yo. Like I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah.
it did. They need to
That shit
move
is
the
wild.
graffiti. They need to move graffiti to that too,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
professional
yeah.
competitions or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be ill, yo. That would be really ill.
I mean,
Like there's
cause
some
they could get a
crazy
whole
artists
show
out
about
there.
people getting tattoos. You know what I mean? They might as well get a whole show about cats graffiti on the walls who got the best
Yeah.
tags, who
I'm
got the
actually
best.
surprised. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. But when it does happen, the problem is that it's gonna get so commercialized that
Yeah.
it's probably not gonna be a good show. You know what I'm saying? They're probably gonna you know what I'm saying? They're probably gonna do a graffiti version of Love and Hip Hop. You know,
Yeah,
so
see,
it's gonna
exactly. They're gonna have Kim Kardashian as the what you would call it, the fucking narrator.
shit, or it's
Like,
gonna be mad drama, mad beef, but like novella style. You know, like, hey man, I didn't like the way you crossed over and I'm like, yo, it might, it might turn into that. I don't know, bro. The
you
way
know what I
things are
mean?
going, you don't know.
Yo, I'm trademarking that graffiti battle though, but I don't want no motherfucking Kim Kardashian or none of them as narrators. Definitely not, yo.
Yeah,
Word.
you know what? Hey, you brought up a good point because that's the only way that we can preserve the culture is that like if like you just came up, you just said why isn't there this show? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we put those ideas into motion. That's how we procure the culture and preserve it and keep it moving along, or narrate, be our own narrators of our stories. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the problem now that we got other people narrating our stories,
Yeah,
and we see our stories, and you already see how that is. It's just like, oh man, they're not telling our story correctly. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah. You're right.
yeah, that's like somebody narrating my life without my input. That's just gonna be wild. They probably gonna jack it up and make me look mad gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this dude ill shit. You
Like
know what
they
I
do
mean?
all of us all the time. Whenever you fucking
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
or any
exactly. Oh man,
documentary.
he came from the slums. It was all bad. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. You know that that's how they pimp our stories. So
They
you
might
know
make you into a b-boy too. Watch.
yeah, that's definitely a B-boy. And they'll probably get an actor with like long sleek hair, not like that cringy shit I had in the 90s. That that shit would be smooth, like you know what I mean? Uh yeah,
Oh shit.
it'll glisten, you know what I mean? It'll glisten.
Yeah, I mean the way they're doing shit is definitely hit. You're right. They would do us dirt. They made that shit man. They made that shit mad wild. Fucking the real
Yo,
style, yo.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, shit. But that is a dope idea. Just don't tell too many people, man.
I mean, it's. I mean, but I mean, Trademarked. Nah.
Why we on live?
You know, I mean, whoever hears it, just remember it's trademarked. So sometime in the near future. But yeah, why not? I mean, like I said, some of the elements of hip hop kind of does get lost in translation because everybody thinks
Mhm.
graffiti is like an old school thing. It's like, nah, you still got artists today doing it on
Yeah,
buildings, painting murals, and that's a part of graffiti too. That's the art. So why
yeah,
not?
and it's come so far. It's come so far because I mean, if you look at what they're doing now with like with like aerosol art, like it's crazy because like the level the level that they've gotten to is just like it's amazing what they're doing now. It's totally crazy. You know what I mean? I would have never thought like back then that it would get that far. But
See,
you know,
like, and just like those verses and shit, like, I'm okay with the idea, I guess, in some aspect, but trying to have the DJs battling each other the way they have, not feeling it, man. I want the DJ Premier RZA joint back. Like, I want like these type of things for the DJs as part of the elements of hip hop, giving
yeah,
them a
yeah.
chance to shine. You know what I mean? Let's bring it back to the Juice movie
Hmm.
style. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need that, not that publicized bullshit where it's like you got fucking DJ No Name versus Stack Selector. Is like, nah, man. Like, give us some good, you know what I mean, lineups, matchups, and shit. Like, I'll watch it. I'll pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. Who's
Need
one of your
that.
favorite DJs?
I mean, I gotta say Premier. I mean,
Um,
but I think it's just because, you know what I mean, I respect what he's done. He came from a whole nother state and represented in New York, and he
yeah,
did a lot. He did a lot,
yeah.
man, and he's still doing it. So I mean, I definitely gotta say him. I mean, who's one of your favorite DJs?
That guy, it's gotta be Premier. Um, yeah, he's one of my top, but he's been my top since like you know what I mean, the '90s or whatever. Um,
Yo, did you ever do
I just
a
seen him
Premier
rock
track?
yeah, he could rock a party, man. Like I've seen Premier live, man. Like I like his sets, and
Yeah,
you
he's
know
very
he killed it.
entertaining.
And when he did the DJ Premier versus Pete Rock, like he did like a few dates with Pete Rock, that shit was dope. I seen that shit in LES when they did that shit, and that shit was incredible. That was a good like battle type thing.
You know what I'm saying? What's going on with this DJ Premier Jice One?
Shit. Man, shit. That I've never done, man. I've never gotten on a Primo track. I've never. I mean, I maybe if I would have pursued it, you know what I'm saying. But I never pursued it. Uh, the same way I never pursued like getting on a Muggs track, and I used to, I was a big Muggs fan. You know what I mean, DJ Muggs fan. Um, I always wanted to get on a Muggs track. I always wanted to do a Primo track, but yeah, I never pursued it. Not sure why. I just never really had the urge. I didn't have like that same, hey man, like, who do you know? How can you get me to him? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I just
yeah.
never had that drive, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's never
I
too
kind
late
of like,
though. Either way, you know what I mean. It's
yeah,
definitely
it's
never too late.
never
So it's
too late
like,
for anything.
but you know what I mean.
I can still smash a Primo track though. I can probably still smash a Primo track, but yeah,
Definitely,
yeah,
man.
I'm
Like
not.
the shit that you be writing and the way you flow it and the energy you got, he could throw you like the fucking darkest beat. You still bring that shit to light. Make that shit some
Yeah,
next level shit.
yeah.
So
There's not a lot of Primo tracks I don't like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Primo still he still got it, man.
see, we traveling into the future today. You know, we getting a lot accomplished for hip hop. You know what I mean? Because DJ Premier Jice won. Maybe this graffiti joint, we can make some shit happen with that. You know what I mean? For all the real
yeah.
graffiti heads out there.
All in one.
Yeah, man. You know, man, we making progress here for hip hop, man. Now, if only we can get you to spin on your head and do some backspins, man. I think we call it a night.
Woo. Oh, them head spins. Woo. I tried that twice in my life, man. It didn't turn out well, man.
He's like, I did it in my room. Nobody was looking. I said, fuck it. Let me try to do a
Yo, that
backspin.
yeah. The head spins, I could never get those, man. I just didn't have that balance. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
the hair, man. I'm telling you, the hair. It can either work
yeah,
with you or work against you in those type of
yeah. I
situations.
know, I know, I know. It could have been dope. It could have been a good visual with the hair, but it just never happened. It just never happened, man. I was just like, yeah. I was always scared of breaking my neck. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I was just
Yeah,
like, yeah, I
I hear
can't
you.
break my neck, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody at one point thought that shit too. Cause the way they be spinning, like one wrong turn, you fucking your head spinning over a quarter. You gonna
Yeah, yeah. Or you like, you know what I mean? Yeah, something goes wrong. You get a cramp or something. I don't know.
damn.
Mid
Yeah,
head
that's
spin, you know what I mean? You don't know what can happen, bro.
yo. Yeah, you ain't lying. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of water on the stage, and just yeah, it's over.
Yo, Mr. Live, what up? And,
Word. It's crazy. So about the arsons, man. Like I know y'all all with the solos and stuff. You ever think y'all can do get together reunion album?
um, I don't know, man. I don't feel like I don't see it in the foreseeable future. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't get along with dudes or anything like that. It's just like everybody's just like scattered. Everybody got things going on. You know what I'm saying? It'd be really difficult to get everybody to get on the same page. You know, some of us like we got Q on the West Coast. We got freestyle all over in France, Ching in Australia. Like everybody's everywhere. So.
Damn, yeah,
And
that's crazy.
if we wanted to do it, it would be, you know what I mean? We don't want to do the whole email thing like we were just speaking about earlier. So yeah.
You know what though? That would be well worth it though. You know what I mean? And then Arsonist reunion, that would definitely be well worth the internet transition. You know what I mean? Because I
But
would
it probably
definitely,
be it won't be the way we would want to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like
yeah,
being there.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I,
different.
I want to hear Pyromaniacs 2 and 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's another one of my favorites. The original though, the original Power Maniacs. Not the one that was on As the World Burned. There's another one, the one that came before that. That was dope. I mean,
The
not the
video,
one.
the video for that shit was crazy too, man. Like, that's
Oh
not saying like
yeah,
y'all
that
got to
shit
have a
came
lot of
out.
fun, man. Like, it just seems
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that was fun.
man,
Yeah, that was tough getting a video shot in 2 days, man. We had to squeeze all that in. So,
that shit
but
is crazy. I mean, with all the tracks y'all put out, like y'all, if you could have like do a whole reunion joint, you know what would be dope is just y'all just make a music video for some of the older shit they never got. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
ASA, but like you know what I mean? Cause like what was it? Like Halloween, like some shit like that. Like
yeah,
just
yeah.
let's have an
I, I
actual
always,
video.
I always wanted to do a Blaze video. That never got done. You know what I'm saying? I think Blaze would have been dope. I think Seed, Halloween would have been dope. There's a lot of like, videos we could have did that we wanted to do, but at that time everything was just moving so fast, with the label and shit like that. And we just had a big tour like schedule. So we were gone for most of the time. We just never really got around to doing it because we were just like, go in one city, rock a show, then go to the next city the next day or the day after that. I barely got to see all the places we've been to because we always kept it moving. So we
No
barely
doubt.
had time for anything. It was kind of, it was kind of burnout status by the end of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
So,
probably bittersweet. You know what I mean? Because it was sweet because y'all was in the limelight, you was in the sunlight and shit. But like, unfortunately, the bitter side of that you guys couldn't really, live life the way you wanted to. You couldn't really like sit down and
mm,
formulate other things the way you wanted to. So
yeah, exactly. And I mean, traveling, shit, man, we went through so much, like, torn, you know what I mean? And we never let that shit, like, mess with our show. I mean, it was always game time when we performed, but there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, nobody really knew. Like, I did a lot of shows, and, and I would be, before those earlier days, I would just be like, I would have anxiety. I would get like panic attacks before the show. After the show, I couldn't be in crowds, but I had to be in crowds. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was
that's great.
difficult. Like, so, but nobody, and that's why, like, before the show, you would barely see me, and after the show, you would barely see me. I would like leave. I would find a corner or go back to my hotel and just, just chill. So I wasn't in the mix with the crowd and shit like that. But I mean, it got better over the years, but that shit took a lot out of us, and and then that affects like relationships and things like that. We didn't
Yeah,
just I know for me, I just didn't know how to be home anymore. So when I started spending time at home and not being on tour, I just didn't even know how to be. I didn't even know how to be. You know what I mean? Like, it was just weird being home. It's just weird being home. I had trouble adapting to that shit. So, because I was always on the move, always on the move. So, there's a totally different life now, you know what I'm saying? But back then, I just, I kind of struggled with that whole thing. But it turned out for the better, though, because I learned a lot from that shit. So
yeah, yeah.
definitely.
I mean that's a good thing. There. You got as long as you got something to take from it. At the end of the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean? 'Cause,
definitely.
I mean, to
Definitely.
be honest with you, I'm pretty sure a lot of artists are in that same. They were in that same mindset, but you know what I mean. A lot of us don't
Mm.
really. You can't. You're not really gonna know that because I'm pretty sure, like you said, a lot of people probably was like, "Yeah, this man, he didn't even watch my set." But it's like on the
Hmm.
back side of the story, it's because you had shit you had to deal with it. You couldn't, you know. What I mean, like,
Yeah.
so I mean, a lot
You
of us, I believe, is like
definitely.
that. You know what I mean?
It happens. It happens, man. Like, I've been on tour with people that were kind of like in similar situations. I mean, I won't say their names now, but it's just like you will never guess, man. You watch them now, and they still in the game now. You know what I mean? And you will never guess that they were just like, behind the scenes, like, before or after the show, they were just struggling with like mental health issues. But in the hood, we just kept it moving. I didn't grow up thinking about that. I never stopped to just like even pay that any mind. But you know what I mean? Like, I seen a lot of it, a lot of it. I seen some wild shit, on tour with other groups and artists and shit. You know, when it's a lot of like eye opening shit. So it's dope.
You got a story you might want to tell.
Nah, man. I, I can't. You know what I mean? I
I
can't.
was gonna say the perfect segue right there. I mean, it sounded like you was like, yo, yeah, you know what? Let me tell this story real quick. It's like, I mean, you know what I mean? 'Cause I've heard some crazy stories on some of these interviews, man, and it's like, it's amazing the stuff that y'all go through, especially back then.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the difference is just like, while you're going through it, you feel like you're part of this family. Regardless if you know the artist or not, you kind of like have this like, this quiet understanding of each other. So you see somebody going through something similar to you, you're not like the best of friends, but you relate on that level. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's kind of what kept me going, you know. But at the end of the day, at some point in your life, you have to like face up. You know what I mean? And face the shit, and not like keep walking away from it, and just keeping it moving and shit. So at some point, like when we released Date of Birth, we were down to 3 members. You know what I mean? And when we started, man, we were deep, deep. So you could imagine like all these members either got like thrown out the group or left the group. Um, so by the end of it all, man, I walked away from music for like a good 2 years. I just like picked up. I just had I just had my son, and I moved to Florida and just didn't touch music. I grew a beard, became a hermit for like 2 years, and it was real, you know? I was just like, I had to walk away from music in order to like come back to it. And when I came back to it, it was just because of my closest peoples, you know?
Yeah,
So, and that's how I met, shortly after I met ID and Alucard, that kind of like steamrolled it. So, yeah, it's an ill journey.
yeah. I mean, it definitely. I mean, I look at like, yeah, I mean, the achievements are definitely something to always pat yourself on the back for. But I also feel like the journey, what was like, it was the best part of the whole entire everything. The obstacles, everything was definitely what most people need to kind of look at because you guys been through a lot, and then on top of that, you left it and then you came back, and you still have the same love for it. That's the important part because you know what I mean. A lot of people when they lose that love, especially for hip hop, they don't want to come
Hmm.
back to this shit. And even if they did, they only want to come back to it for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, and then yeah, you come back to it, you come back to it for the wrong reasons, and I mean, it gets blurred up, and to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I could be out there, man. I could be out there going hard on some jolly shit, like, hey, I want to do this, I want to release an album every year, but I mean, fact of the matter is like I got a lot of shit going on in my life. I got a family to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, everything, my priorities nowadays is not the same priorities I had back then. So, and right now, like I just feel like whatever way I can make an impact on somebody in a positive way, I'm gonna try to do it. Whether it's through music or just me. You know what I mean? Um, that's just the way I roll. So I'll never lose the passion and the love for the music. I might not do it the same way or at the same level, but it's definitely by choice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm comfortable with that. It's better than feeling like like you had no choice, but I have a choice. So I choose to carry myself the way that I carry, and I'm totally content with it.
I
So.
gotta say, this much, man. Like the fact, like I respect artists like yourself that, like, you know what I mean. Like you did your dirt and you left your dirt back then. You know what I mean. You're constantly growing yourself. Like that's what I love about the artists I listen to. Is because yeah, you can still be still doing like ignorant shit or something
Mhm.
stupid. Yeah, we could still be doing that, but instead, you like trying to teach people stuff, you're trying to teach artists, you're trying to involve yourself, and you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
that's a beautiful thing for hip hop too. Like there's something else we lost along the way is the mutual respects, the open
Mhm.
conversation, straightforward dialogue, and on top of that, the critique. Like all that stuff is a major part of what we do too, because this is a culture. We're supposed to hold each other down. It might sound like it's an insult, and a lot of people get butthurt by it, but I mean, there's no way you're gonna grow if you stay the same way you was 20, 30 years back.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And honestly, like as an artist, that's one of the most frustrating things is like you know, when you put music out and it's just like, oh, give me some of this, like the same shit you did back then. And this is like, yo, man, like you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, you know, I'm not doing the Pyromaniacs verse from, you know what I'm saying, from As the World Burns. It's just like you move forward, everybody's doing new things. I mean, Q Unique is definitely an example of that. I mean,
Word.
the shit he's doing now is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's doing metal, he's doing rock, he's doing all types of shit. You know what I mean? And
And
he's
he's
still,
good, and he's good at it. So yeah, it's like that's a crazy transition to
yeah,
make, but still be dope at it. You know what I mean?
yeah. And it's something, and what people don't understand is that, like it's just something that he wanted to do from back then. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? And he just wasn't ready to do it. So like when I wasn't shocked when, you know, a lot of fans were probably shocked, but I wasn't shocked because I already knew that he already had that in him. You know what I'm saying? He had that talent. So I mean, I definitely wasn't shocked. I just knew that he would eventually go down that route because that was his true passion. You know what I mean? So you never know what a, you know what I'm saying? You never know what a person's true passion is. Like I told you earlier, I was like, I didn't, you know, I didn't set out to do this. I didn't set out to do records. It happened. I took the opportunity, and there's other shit I love doing. There's other passions I had. You know what I mean? This is just one that took the, you know, took the wheel, and I just took that shit for a ride. You know, so and I'm glad that I did.
Well, I mean, like I said, you as an artist, you definitely grew. I mean, you could definitely tell, but at the same time, though, it's like you handling it in a way that your fans are still your fans. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna sit here and be like, "Well, oh, he changed. I'm not feeling it." It's like your style is more unique in its own way enough that they can toss you on any beat and you're still gonna be yourself. So it's like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't, you know, I can't try to fit and mold into, you know, something that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It
So
is what
definitely
it is.
no Jice One trap album.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I was thinking about it, but you know,
We'll just make sure we add in the cowbells and you know what I mean, hi hat rolls and whatever you know what I mean. The DJ
but
Khaled
if
in
I
the
do the
back.
trap, if I do the trap album, I'm gonna come back and talk to you after it.
That's gonna be one hell of a conversation. Just whatever you do, don't throw on skinny jeans, bro. Don't throw on skinny jeans to promote that.
For real, yo. Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Uh,
Jice One featuring Little Dirk or something. Be like, whoa, what?
yeah,
What's going? What's
yeah.
going on? What's going on?
I don't know, man.
That shit's wild, yo. So, what project you got? You working on right now?
Hmm. I'm not working on a solo project, although like ID's been trying to like get in my ear about it. Um, but I've been, you know, I've been doing joints with ID and Alucard. Um, that's what feels most natural right now. You know what I'm saying? We have a chemistry, so most of the projects that I'm working on has been with them. I mean, my last project, my most recent one was Defiant 3, and we got a bunch of joints we did together. We just haven't really like sealed it off yet, and you know what I mean. But it will most likely be out this year. Creative Juices, we got tons of shit coming out this year. That's just one of the projects. And who knows, man? I mean, I have these ideas, you know what I mean, for next solo, but I just gotta be sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to start something and then like not finish it. But if it materializes, it'll be awesome. You know what I mean? Um, if it doesn't, I'm still content. I'm still gonna push CJM regardless. I'm
No
still gonna
doubt.
get on every track possible. I'm trying to get on like these new shit that he's about to work on, his solo shit. So I mean, right now I like doing collabos, man. Like I love at this point in my life, I love working with other artists. I love to contribute. I love to like swap ideas. Um, like that's just what I'm into right now. Like, and we definitely trying to push the Helix joint out too this year too. Helix C Armageddon album that she's already done. We just gotta like finalize some things. Uh, you know, great artist. We're excited about putting her joints out. So
Yeah, she's
I mean,
fucking dope, man. And you got to join with her.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all out and shit.
He's a long time homie, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my sister right there. But yeah, she has yeah, man, her projects, man, interesting, man. It's ill. So I mean, she's gonna jump back in the studio soon, probably to like finalize that. Um, Alu's album, that shit's fire. You know what I'm saying? Alu's ill. ID's back in the lab. I'm probably gonna jump back in the lab. Who knows? I don't know, man. I'm excited about CJ, honestly.
Indeed, man.
I'm
Y'all a bunch of good brothers, man. And
I'm
and
hyped about it.
and she shout out to Helix because she got some fire and shit. But yo, all y'all together as a unit, man. It's like the fucking
Yeah.
perfect storm, man. Y'all the mini Wu-Tang in a way. 'Cause the way y'all got so many branches to everything. You still y'all all staying true to the hip hop. You're not converting. So it's like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, man, y'all doing what needs to be done. And especially ID, man. He a good brother. I like how he's with y'all, like the way y'all handle shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most damn, yo. Like, but yeah, definitely if you're gonna be doing any future albums, make sure DJ Premier Mugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Before you think, you know what I mean? Even if you like 100 years old, like, yo, I'm about to step away from the game. Nah, man. You still gotta do that Premier Mug shit. No matter how old you are, we gonna hold you to that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, everybody that's watching, man. I hope you want the same. I want that Premier Jise one.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
You know what I mean? Word, yo, like that shit. That would be an excellent track, man. And definitely pushing for that.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome if it happened. But shit.
I was
That'd definitely be like a bucket list. That'd be nice.
well, like I said, man. There's no age restriction. You could be 200 and still
Oh yeah.
DJ Premier Jise one.
Yeah. That the age thing, that shit, you know what I mean? That shit used to like that shit don't even intimidate me, man. You know what I mean? Like that shit is like it's not yeah, hip hop is probably one of the only genres that like pay mind to that, the age shit, Like
Yeah.
like we're like, oh, after a certain age, you shouldn't be doing this. But man, shit, why can't we get the same privilege that every other genre of music has? You have reggae artists that are fucking do reggae till they fucking die of old age. You have rock stars that are fucking do it till they die of old age. Why can't we get the same shit? You know what I mean? So
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean,
yeah,
there's no age restriction, man. Like, we should be able to do
yeah,
that. You know what I mean? Even if
definitely.
we missing teeth, you know what I mean? Like, we still, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Throwing somebody in a video and shit and still do their
Hmm.
thing at 200 plus. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
we should make that happen too. Like, we deserve that much. I mean, shit.
But it's definitely one of those things where you have to have like a respect for it as well, because I mean I can I forgot what magazine it was. I think it was GQ, but it was the Andre 3000 interview. You know what I'm saying? And he was explaining why why he's not making music anymore right now. You know what I'm saying? And it was it was simple. As an artist, I could relate to it. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, yo, like if I feel like I have, if I don't feel that same fire, and I don't feel like I can have like the same or more to offer, I'm just not gonna do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna cheat you, and I'm not gonna cheat myself. You know what I mean? Like if that fire is there, I'll do it. If I feel that same passion, but I definitely won't go half-ass that shit. You know what I mean? Because I've done that in the past. You know what I mean? And it's just it's just not who I am. I'm gonna go all the way or not go at all. So definitely, if that shit happens, I'm gonna only do it if it's like I'm all in. So that's definitely how I approach it now.
No doubt, no doubt. I actually have one more question for you, man. How did you and ID meet? Was it like a collab joint? Or was it at a hip hop show?
Yo, ID shit. I keep bringing this shit. I keep bringing it up with him, and I don't remember exactly, but I remember like one of the first. I think. Oh, you know what? He asked me to get on a joint, and it was weird because it was a joint that was already done. The song was done,
Oh.
but I don't know what he did. I think he re-released it on a mixtape, and he just wanted me to add a verse to it. And
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
and I don't know what I did. I laced the verse, and he was just like, he had his, he was like his recording set up when I met him, and he had the board. That shit was in the kitchen. It was right next to the stove, bro. Like the burner was right here, and the and the board is right here. That's how I met ID. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
shit.
And we hit it off. I know when I went and I started hearing their stuff, and it was like this was like one of the first times after that Florida thing when I left music. So when I seen his passion, it kind of reminded me of like the arsonist days. And I seen how he did it. It was, it was him, it was Czar, it was Alucard, it was Lifelong. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes. And I was just like, oh, these niggas still have this like fire for this shit. This is ill. You know what I'm saying? And I came back and he was like, he I had a whole bunch of joints, and he was like, "You want to put out a project?" Like he was very like, you want to put out a project? I was like, "Yeah." I got some shit called the Lieutenant Wolf Chronicles, and it was just like old demos and verses that I put together. See, you know what I mean? That came before the Chronicles too, shit that we were talking about earlier. So there was one before that, the Lieutenant Wolf Chronicles. That shit, yo, it was like misprints on the CDs. Shit was spelled wrong. It was mad like grimy.
Damn.
But we were like really up pretty much like after we did that project, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, nah, let's do an official project. No demo shit. And that's when we started working on the Chronicles too. You know what I mean? And since then, I mean, we lost track of time because we've been working together since, whether it's like, I mean, if he calls me to go do backup ad libs to someone else's joint, I'll go and do it. I don't need credit for it or anything. You know what I'm saying? That's just like how we roll.
That's what's up, man.
That's where it's at now, man. So we've been cool. We've been cool since then. I mean, that shit, like
Yo,
I
I wouldn't
said,
mind hearing a Jice one, you know what I mean, ad lib in the back of ID, like saying some crazy shit or something mad funny in the background. It's like, oh shit, yo, yeah, that's Jice.
nah, yo, when you listen to the next few projects on this year, you might hear that shit somewhere. You might hear, if you listen closely, you might hear my voice in the back of some shit. I ain't even got a verse on.
Oh shit.
So
No
yeah.
doubt.
I'm a big like, you know what I mean, out of the out of the crew and shit, like you ask ID, I love doing ad-libs and sounds and you know what I'm saying? If I could just do that shit for the rest of my life, I'll do that shit.
Yo, you know what y'all should do, man? Y'all should make a bloopers reel. But all it is just your backup vocals, your ad libs.
We got mad bloopers. We got a bunch of bloopers. We just haven't used them yet. Well, I think we gonna end up using them shit though. We
You
have
know
a
what I'm
lot of
saying?
them shit. And we have
ID's
the
a funny dude too.
conversation.
So
Yo,
yeah.
bruh, we have like conversations that we just, we leave it recorded and shit. And we're just like, yeah, it's mad background shit. But we'll see, man. There's a lot of like, you know what I mean? As long as the vibe is there, there's gonna be stuff, you know what I mean?
Yo,
You know what I'm
ID
saying?
man, you guys need to make lunch table battle part 2, part 3, part 4. Like I would love to hear y'all go back to back with it with the roasts and shit. Like I think that shit would be dope.
That's actually a good idea, man. I don't know, man. Might do that shit.
That shit would be
Might
dope,
do that
man.
shit.
ID's mad fucking funny, bro. Like, he be making me roll up sometimes. Like
Yeah, he's a funny dude, man. He's an ill dude, yo. Like those two dudes, like him and Alu together, like you know what I'm saying? Like they like my, two of my favorite like artists, man. They like Ray and Ghost to me. Their chemistry is just like it's on. Like when they work together, that shit is just on.
yeah, it is, man. It is, because like I was telling him before, man, I heard his shit off YouTube, man. Shit they were doing together is definitely a dynamic duo. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
definitely. So I agree with that 100%. But yeah, I mean, you've always been the comical type too in the hip hop shit. So it's like definitely here. That would definitely be dope. Even if it was just a skit, have a little beat in the background, y'all roasting each other type shit. You know what I mean? That Dean Martin type shit. Like I think
Yeah,
th- I think that shit would be fucking dope, man. Like I would love to see that.
yeah. No doubt, man.
No doubt. But yeah, yo. I just want to, yo, I appreciate your time though, bro. Like, you know what I mean? 'Cause I know you got the
Nah,
family
man.
joint and shit like that, you know what I mean? But this is kind of what my show's about, man. We build with each other, you know what I mean? I get to meet some of my favorites. We get to talk, get some info out of shit, you know what I mean? And plus, you know what I mean? That you rolling with ID and all them too. So yeah, everybody is in the same camp, man. Hold each other down, man. I definitely appreciate everything you did for hip hop too. On top of that.
Nah, man. Shit. Thanks, man. It's a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a
No
pleasure.
doubt, no doubt. But yeah, definitely definitely want to do another joint with you when you drop that trap album.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with my info too, man. I don't think I gave you my contacts info and shit, so I'll send it to you after this and shit.
No doubt, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, once again, I
Yeah,
appreciate everything you do, bro. Why don't you let everybody know your handles, so this way they know how to reach
yeah,
you.
yeah, definitely. I mean, main handle is here. You know what I'm saying? Jise_1. Or Tree of Life pics. That's where I have a lot of like my photography, my videography. I do a lot of video work, a lot of photo work, you know what I'm saying? Tree of Life pics is where you find that, you know what I'm saying? But you can find that connected through the Jise_1. JISE_0, ONE. I
No
mean,
doubt. Make sure y'all check out the Spotify joints too, your albums and whatnot. Passing
yeah,
the
definitely.
Jace Chronicles 2.
Heard.
Definitely check that out.
All
Definitely
right,
check
dog.
that out, yo. Yeah,
Be
no
good, man.
doubt. Bye, bro. Be safe.
All right.
Yeah, that was the homie Jice one, man. Make sure y'all check out those albums though, man. The Chronicles 2, The Passion of Jice. They on Spotify, YouTube. They're all over the place, man. But definitely shout out to ID, you know what I mean? Creative Juices Music. And definitely shout out to all y'all for tuning in, man. This Sunday got another show. You know what I mean? Every weekend I try to do this for those that didn't know. So follow me if you want to keep checking shit out. On YouTube, I got interviews too. plenty of them, like 25 joints or something. But shout out to the sponsors once again, Snow Goons, of course. Check out their new merch. It's up in the store. Creative Juices Music, London LeBlanc Magazine, and of course, Elite Sound International, man. But I hope you have a good weekend, and I'm gonna drop